for today. I am joining once again to play in. Neil's gone. Alterra, HQ of the Mad Capitalist. I got asked to join. Thank you again for inviting me.
No worries.
Awesome.
It's always a pleasure to have a professional at the table. Professional streamer.
Hey!
That's quite
Stream because it's live now as well, you dicks.
I'm sure it is.
It is. I'm not fucking
I think it is actually. I think I just saw him go live as well.
I didn't. He was starting to go because I wanted to catch his intro. Mime.
Yeah, sure. I wasn't not ready at all there.
That's
all right.
You can have a
This
preamble.
This is the preamble.
I don't think
Since
Neil's
we're having technical
yeah.
because we're having technical issues. We
Yeah,
might as well do a preamble.
Technical issues because of all the heat. My God, people. Hydrate. Stay hydrated out there. We worry.
Oh,
the
yeah.
UK is currently melting.
I have a fan on my PC directly, just aimed at the PC, not at me. So I'm sweating to death, but my PC is functioning. So
My PC shall function. I might melt to death, but the PC will live on.
I have 5 bottles of Coca-Cola. It was 6, but I just finished one. 2 2-litre bottles of water, a bottle of lemonade, and a Lucozade, and 4 bottles of Lucozade Sport, just in case. So I should be good, or hyper.
I mean,
one of the two.
I was going to say, hyper, yes. Hydrated, no.
That's what 4 litres of water is for.
I mean, yeah, but that doesn't offset the amount of sugar from all that, though.
I look forward to your 20 toilet breaks midstream.
Probably not.
Neil, do we have you yet?
Neil?
Neil?
Neil! Come in!
He's dead.
Man, breathe!
How much lay on hands is it to fix his internet?
Don't know. Bob, if you text him, if you can't hear us, to get him to restart his laptop. Or PC.
Berries, maybe.
Or potato, whatever he's using.
Disabled his microphone.
He's not in the Roll20, or I'd message him. Text him!
I'm just back on now.
There we go.
I don't know what happened. I never realised I was out. Then I realised I was out, and it's the RTC connecting, but it wasn't connecting. So jumping in and out trying to get it to connect.
Yeah.
Maybe they're mucking with your internet down your way. So,
Yeah, not sure.
But yeah, did you add the Hunter's Claw into your inventory?
No.
So you've got the Manage Inventory next to your search bar there.
Yes.
You can click that and then just search Claw.
Just claw.
It should pop up. And then you'd need to attune yourself to it.
The Hunter's Claw.
I have a question if anyone knows what's caused this, because this is a curious one I've never seen before. Does anyone know what causes initiative of negative 0.92?
It'd be your Dex mod.
My Dex modifier is an 8.
Yeah, so that's -1.
I don't know, why is it a 0.92?
Because on your Roll20 sheet you'll have Dex mod for tie breaks. You'll have that switch enabled.
Yeah, I'm wondering
This is
why
why you should always use Beyond 20. That's Beyond 20. Buy from all good game stores.
yes. We're not sponsored, but
Not
we'd
sponsored.
love to be.
Yet.
No,
Non-sponsor.
but it's good to put the word out.
Yes.
Yeah, apologies for everyone for the delays, but we are currently having mild technical issues.
I think we've.
If this is mild, I don't want to know what spicy feels like.
I've had spicy before. My PC's monitor caught fire midstream. That's spicy.
Oh my God, no! actual flame.
Yes, there is a video somewhere. Don't remember what video it was of smoke coming over the webcam. Me going, Guys, we're gonna have to call it here. And
Wait, you didn't name the video "My Monitor Set on Fire"?
no.
What was a better title?
It was the part of the video I was playing at the time. I think it was Greedfall.
You would have got so much clickbait. That's all that we wouldn't. Had you done it correctly, had you played it correctly, we wouldn't have been able to afford you for this or the next episode for sure.
I may have clipped it. I'm not sure. I don't remember. I can only find the video because it's like the only. I think it was Greedfall. It's the only Greedfall video that's like 25 minutes.
Neil, man, you're breathing heavily into your microphone. It's kind of disturbing.
I didn't realize it was.
Yeah, stop breathing, Neil. God.
Do it, Neil.
And get your ass in. You can roll 20. So we can start
It was loading earlier.
I guess it's still loading by the sound of it then.
I have, dear audience, I have recommended on multiple occasions that we make this not a live stream, but just sort of recorded in advance. And I've been overruled multiple times.
Yeah,
and,
because Twitch doesn't kind of work that well for the recorded in advance. Because if I was to stay
spotlessly now, man.
because if I was just to play a video, then people would notice that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would, normally we don't respond to the crowd, but there is that rare occasion where we do go hi to the audience.
Hey, I respond to my crowd. I just mime. That's the best part of having a webcam.
A webcam. Yes.
The thing is, though, as I watch it back and I've got my Tuesday evenings free, I'd be absolutely in that chat going, yeah, I'm glad you enjoy it and all that sort of stuff. I'd be the mod.
Mm-hmm.
I have mods for that. Usually they just ban people, but
yeah, usually I'm banning bots because there are some nasty bots going around trying to say, do you want followers?
To buy fans?
Do you want to buy followers? They may be bots, but they're followers.
For this temperature, the OnlyFans website. Get all your fan
Right,
needs.
are you on it?
What?
Yeah, we see you, Dion.
Not an OnlyFans.
No.
I mean, you're the only one who has an actual picture on Roll20, so.
Well, my.
I have all the pictures up, and he's the only one that's an actual picture of a person. The rest of us are.
Oh yeah,
two heroes.
Because I escaped the Ooze Matrix.
Yeah, mine's long been minimised on that.
I like mine. I like mine up.
Because my picture has no relation to Pizzazz.
I was wondering. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, mine's just this Dragon Bob.
Mine's Dirgy.
Because I'm pretty sure that was a Warforged that I was playing at one point.
Okay. Oh, Neil's gone again.
Yeah, Roll20 just kicked me out.
Okay. I'd say start. We can fix any problem.
Here's the one. If all else fails, Neil is on the Discord. He can tell you what he wants to do, and you roll it.
Yeah.
I shoot an arrow, I steal a kill.
Yeah.
Actually, it'll have a bit of a delay, but Neil, go and watch either mine or Bob's stream if all else fails.
No, that'll kill his internet even worse.
I mean, if it's specifically his Roll20 that's not working, not his internet, basically.
I don't know. Neil, you still with us?
No, I'm not.
Okay, good.
I'm in the land of the dead.
No, we already left there.
Say hi to Hella for me. It's been a while.
We survived that place. We got out there. We killed something nasty.
Yeah.
We killed Willow in there.
Yeah, but did we really get out?
I don't know. James is the only one who can answer that one.
I just realised, Bob, you never met Hella. You never met Hella.
I mean,
did you?
I mean, who even knows anymore? Who even cares?
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Alterra, Headquarters of the Mad Capitalist. I'm your host and game master for the evening, James Robertson, and joining me this evening, Mind Flay, Ben playing Pizzazz the Gnome Wizard.
Where?
Just okay, Bob plays as Landwar the Firbog Druid.
Hello.
Hey! Neil is Dion the Half-Orc Ranger.
Hey!
And Slay Queen. Yes, it's TR playing as Glack the Kobold Cleric.
And slay I shall.
I'm sure you shall. Previously, the party learned the terrible truth at long last. They had all been trapped by illithids inside ooze matrices after being implanted by brainworms and forced to undergo various missions to further their goals to bring their exalted leader, an eldritch monster called Elder Control, through a crack in the copper ring of sigil so it could spread its corruption through the city's many doors and take control of every plane in Alterra. You with me so far? Yes, it's doomsday sort of plot material. Their longtime ally, Junkrat the Scorched, told the party as much as he could before fading away, gave them the choice between two doors. The red door would bring them out of the Matrix and into the real world, and nothing would be normal again. While the blue door would lead them into slumber once more, and the illithids would be left to their own devices. The party all gritted their teeth. While it would be their greatest fight ever, they had to do it. Nobody else could. After learning the location of their apparent ally Leon, the group were gifted a few abilities by the power of the machine core, and they stepped through the door together, ready for their final fight. And that's where we pick up today.
So at the
Where
end of
has the
last
music
session,
Yes,
I did
yeah.
cast Time Stop.
Yeah.
3 rounds, I believe.
Yeah.
I believe that was what it was. I will just
I
click
can
to
see.
the correct thingamajigger here and reveal the
3
map.
rounds.
So this is what happens. So, you're in a sort of semicircular room filled with ooze matrix pods. You four rather, are spaced out throughout the room, and the long desiccated corpse of Junkrat is over in another pod in the corner there. And as your pods all fly open, a massive electronic burst suddenly causes the lights and the pods to completely deactivate in this room, and all of the mind flayers seem to be stunned for this surprise round. And as you immediately begin weaving your spell, as you burst out, wielding your staff aloft, the Staff of Qualish, aloft, topped with various skulls of creatures and planted into the ground, 9 circles appear around you, and suddenly the rest of you just snap and freeze, and the mind flayers, reeling in pain, freeze in place, and everything just pauses for a few seconds. Where the hell is my music?
How many bear traps have you got?
Right. So. Junkrat device. What's this do again?
Isn't it a totally
It's a
not
USB.
totally not a wabberjack?
Yeah. So, functions of the time of opening, but for enemy to measure take on first doors, while handling the camera and brain systems, rather than being destroyed by the function. Blah, blah, blah. Okay.
Is there any? I was about to say, is there
Right.
any music playing or?
Oh, there it is. Techno. Right. Okay. So. Right. Okay. So three turns to do things.
Yes, I think first and foremost, shall we roll some initiative? Unfortunately, not you, Wolfie, as you're in another space entirely.
I'm on a different place.
Yeah, you're not in this room. You're plugged into a different matrix network, a different Scion network, essentially, than these fools right here.
Back up.
New
Kinda
PC,
might-
do this.
Kind of makes sense that you just went first there, pizzazz.
Yeah. Why
And they
are there
have.
why's there 2 blacks?
First time he did not roll with advantage for some reason. Oh no, Jesus, it did. Oh, okay.
Neil, you need to roll.
Yeah, just checking
Genuinely
if I
not
was
terrible
too.
for the mind flayers.
That's pretty good, yeah. Mind
Right,
blowing.
Neil. So you have a +5 from your alert plus. Oh my god.
Yeah,
you
it's
rolled-
coming up plus 13.
Oh man. Oh
Yep,
man.
that sounds about right.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
dude. That's.
If it was +8 before, and yes, now it is +13.
The hilarious point where you get +13 to initiative and are still third.
Yeah. Only just ahead of the enemies who are all stunned. So Pizzazz, top of the initiative order, you and everyone else, you watch as Pizzazz just leaps like
Oh.
a salmon out of his pod, and seeing 8 mind flares all around you, you immediately cast time stop. We
Yep.
skip forward everyone's round, because time freezes for all of you.
Mm-hmm.
And Pizzazz, it's back to you. This is round 1 of your time stop.
Okay. Right, so it's not concentration, so that's good.
Yes.
I am going to.
God, I love high-level spellcasting. God, time stop's such a good spell!
It's a cool spell.
Go for it.
I've got so many
It's much
spells I
better.
can do at the moment.
It's much better than
Um,
Power Word Kill.
I like Meteor
For fun.
Swarm and my favourite one, honestly. True Polymorph.
Anyway, sorry, Pizzazz, it's your turn.
Right. Just double checking my shows.
Wasn't there a computer we had to thingy as well?
Yeah, so I've got the Junkrat device.
Mm.
Not Glack device.
Yes, so
Junkrat direct.
aside from the 4 of you who've just sort of woken up from your pods, there are 8 mind flares, 8 very definite scientific mind flares. They all have what look to be clipboards, except there's no writing on them. They're just sort of metal sheets as far as you can tell.
Okay.
And they're sort of stationed around the room. They were each examining. 2 of them, a pair of them, seem to be at each pod examining, why the vital signs had collapsed. Except for, obviously, Junkrat, who he had mentioned previously was entirely dead. Aside from those and the pods, which were now shut off, over in one corner, this corner over here, right by the door, in fact, is what looks to be some sort of pad built into the side of the wall. There aren't any. There aren't any of what Junkrat called computer terminals. There are no screens, the likes of which he showed in his virtual world. There are doors to the south of you, a set of double doors. Yeah, that's what is going on right now.
Okay. So, first action, or first round, bonus action hex onto the one next to me.
Aha. So as you bring your, so you packed of the tome, correct?
Yes.
So as you sort of look around, you feel bits of sort of biotech, the likes of which Junkrat created, sort of almost sprout from the earpiece and along the side of your face as suddenly a little glass, little bit of glass clicks on and sort of flicks down in front of your eye, and you can suddenly see sort of targeted displays like power readouts of these creatures and your allies all around you. And yeah, you sort of laser focus. It brings like a couple of dots that were just sort of lingering around the edge of the heads-up display into the center of your hexed opponent. Which one were you hexing?
So it'd be the one next to my pod here.
Yeah, that one there. So there are 2 next to your pods. I'll just hex him. So he is. We'll just make it a nice big
Next to my
red.
pod? I should only see one.
There's one there and one there. Sorry,
That's
it was
me.
on top of you. Was
Did
it?
you just move
Yeah,
Pizzazz?
that's just, yeah,
Oh.
that's me.
You've
Oh,
only
my
got
mistake.
one beside them.
Oh, terrible.
Because,
There you go.
because you've made me the same colour as the Mind Flayer.
Yeah, I realise that. It's because you both use arcane power.
Okay.
But that one's
I mean-
hexed.
I don't know why I'm tinted anyway, but
It's so I can keep track of you.
fair enough. Yeah, so he's hexed, and I am going to Eldritch Blast him.
Okay.
You're definitely
Would technically be would technically be with disadvantage because you're within 5 feet, but you can
No.
just essentially walk away from
I've
them.
got Spell Sniper, so no.
You took the feat.
Yep.
Excellent.
I took that very long time ago.
It's a good feat.
At long last, it pays off. Tell you what, I'll put you as.
Wait, not
It's
very
grey there.
often that I'm this close to
close.
the enemies.
There you go. I've made you grey instead because you're rotting away. Yeah, then 4 blasts.
So, okay.
Daka.
Although I believe it ends. I believe your time stop ends if you make an attack that affects an unthingied creature, doesn't it?
I thought it doesn't affect it until.
That's right. Yeah. So a 21 hits, a 17. Oh, that's a nat 1.
Yeah.
The nat
So
1
the
misses.
spell ends if one of the actions you use during this period of any face affects a creature other than yourself or object being worn or carried by someone.
It's fine. I'll let it occur because they're stunned anyway. And this is a cool move. And I'm not going to have you waste your 9th level slot.
Right, so that was 1. I'll roll the hex damage afterwards.
Yeah, no problem. So it's 1 hit, 2 more blasts,
2 more blasts.
plus 16 to hit. My
So that's a
god.
25.
25 is going to hit.
Roll damage for 2, that's crap.
I think it's the same with Morn.
Last one is another nat 1. So it's just 2d6 on the hex.
Yeah. So 4, 5, 6 plus
That's an
8. Excellent.
Nice.
You did more damage with the hex than the.
Yeah, I know.
So that guy takes 14 points of damage, or rather he would. So as you impact, you've never cast a spell of this magnitude before. You fire out of your staff, which now has these sort of technomantic runes and bits of copper sort of wiring all built into it. And as you look around, all your party members have that sort of Junkrat biotech built into their forms as well.
Flavor-wise, Pizzazz meant to cast Firebolts, but it ended up being Eldritch Blast.
Yeah, perfect. So you point your
He doesn't
staff.
realise he hexed him because that was subconscious.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's great. So you just hear almost Junkrat's whispers in your ear as if to say, "That's good. Maybe a little higher next time." But you watch as these 4 blasts impact this Mind Flayer, and he doesn't move. Time hasn't restarted yet. They have impacted him, and as you sort of, your passive investigation's massive, and you're right there.
Yes,
You can see, you can see they've all impacted, and it's like an explosion waiting to go off.
Yeah.
You reckon that as soon as time restarts, this guy is in a world of hurt. Are there any additional effects of your Eldritch Blast? Like, is he pushed back?
No. It's just I took the Eldritch Spear, so it's got range of 600 feet at the moment.
God damn. Because you've got Spell Sniper as well. That's an insane thing. You can fire over an
600
entire
feet.
battlefield. Anyway,
Yep.
that's your first turn, unless you have any bonus actions.
And the bonus action was the hex.
Was the hex, okay? So we skip everyone else, and back to you again. This is your second round with time stop.
Okay.
Do you have delayed blast fireball?
Qualish actually cast that on Pizzazz, so it'd be so ironic.
But at the moment, it would hit everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, your party are still in their ooze matrices. Your one opened first.
One hell of a
Alright.
way to open him up.
In that case,
So your one slid open, and you pushed it open immediately and burst out and cast your spell. They're
Yeah.
still in their pods.
In that case, I'm gonna. Where are they mostly gathered? Right, so they're mostly gathered sort of here-ish. So if I centered it here,
It's a 20-foot radius, essentially, isn't it?
it's a 20-foot radius. Yeah.
Yeah, if you place it there, you can hit all of them. And also probably scorch most of the pods as well.
So yeah, I'll cast that one.
Okay, so suddenly you just reach out, and rather than creating the force damage which you did previously, you lean back on the fire, and yeah, this is where you shine. You just plant it, and it just sort of hovers there in the space,
Yep.
occasionally crackling in this red and blue energy.
Yeah. So would actually increase by another 2d6 by the time it goes off.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
So you're dropping concentration on the delayed blast fireball as soon as time restarts, basically.
yes.
Okay.
Um,
Like right before Dion's turn.
Yep.
His first turn. Okay.
Such a cool spell.
So just
so
just
that-
roll your 2d6 extra damage.
that's another 10 on top of
Nice.
that, so
Okay.
6.
So it'll be 52 damage on a failed dex save or 26 on a success for these guys. I'll just furiously roll. That is your action this turn. You're concentrating. That is round 2. This is your final round.
Yep.
Coming up of time stop.
What's that extra 4, by the way?
This Mind Flare here,
The one on the other side of your pod, yeah.
I am going to attempt to dominate monster.
Nice.
That is also a concentration spell, I believe.
Oh shit, yeah.
So I'll
never
let
mind,
you
I
take
won't
that
do that.
back.
The irony was not lost.
But yeah, my hex has also dropped because I cast delayed fireball.
That's true. What's your DC?
My DC
22, right? Yeah, it's 22,
22.
23.
22.
Right, okay. Good to know.
What else do I have that I could do?
So only that guy has.
Just
I
cast
am-
every cantrip you've got.
There's other things
Yeah,
that don't require
use all my
concentration.
Hey man, you had a week. You had 2 weeks to decide.
Yeah, I know. What does Bungie have to again?
Does what do? What did you ask?
So
What,
I'm just-
what it did?
I'm just reading through Bones of the Earth.
Oh, that's
I
the.
didn't
It's someone's like little earth spikes, I think, and does
Yeah,
a little bit of
I didn't
damage.
actually
and
read
binds
through it.
something.
How tall is this room?
This room, so as you look up, it's about 20, 30 foot tall. As far as you can tell. It's like a scientific research lab just filled with these pods.
So I won't do that just yet. What I will do though is this one next to me. I'm gonna cast Blight on it.
You're going to cast Blight. Okay. That one there,
Just
yeah?
a con save, yes.
Blight's a cool spell.
Yeah.
Okay, con save. They have advantage, magical resistance. Good to know. Plus the 5. Just fails. Okay.
Yikes.
-40.
And then with my movement, I'm gonna get down to this side of my pod,
Mm-hmm.
essentially covering myself for when.
For when the bomb explodes. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so at the end of my turn, the time stop will drop, and boom.
And boom goes the dynamite.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm just taking all their health down by a fair chunk. Because all of them except for that guy there, ironically, who's the closest, fails.
You know, he saw it and ducked.
Yeah, it's like the world passes before his eyes. So, Pizzazz, as your third and final turn ends, you just feel the strain of holding time, just holding time together. You feel cracks and splinters around the edge of your vision, and you're forced to let it go, and you're exhausted as you collapse behind a bomb. And the rest of you feel this because you're all awake inside your pods. You have just woken up. You just feel a bomb, a literal massive bomb, just explode all of the glass inside of your ooze matrix pods. You're going to take a bit of piercing damage. That's 4d6. Oh, it's rolling to GM. Okay.
I was wondering why I hadn't been spotted.
Well, it was a 3, a 4, a 4, and a 4 for 15 points of piercing damage. You all just take that rather than the 56 points of fire damage.
You came off
but all the pods that were in that radius of fire blast just explode. The guy who you blasted with Eldritch Spear amazingness is knocked to the floor. Is still awake. This guy here dives behind Dion's pod here, Lanwar's pod rather, and everyone else just screams as the fire engulfs them all. And their robes are set alight. They're usually white and black medical robes. A couple of them drop their metal pads to the ground. It is just carnage, and the rest of you just wake to a world on fire.
How much damage did you say we took?
15 points of piercing.
As
Dion,
Can I use my reaction to deflect the missiles?
you don't have
away?
a reaction yet. You've not had a turn. Sorry, dude. You've just woken up from your pod. You were in the pod, and I'm gonna say no because it's probably the only damage you're gonna take tonight.
You're like restrained. You're like restrained in Ooze pod. It's like, and you just hold it up in your hand.
As Dion, the glass in your pod has just exploded. With the explosion right beside your pod, actually, it was blown sideways, and you're waking up and facing another pod. You're facing that pod. It's like, you feel, that there are
ringing in your ears.
Yeah, the ringing is in your ears. You know there are Alephids nearby, mind flayers. Your favored terrain, your favorite enemy rather, is aberrations. These are definitely aberrations, and you have one goal in mind. You feel the bow in your hand just whisper to you, "Let us hunt."
Your favourite terrain is Ooze Matrix Lab.
Yeah, your favourite terrain is technically Underdark. This is not Underdark.
It's
but
just dark.
it's city, I'm afraid. You should have taken that.
With your bow, if you're fighting favoured monsters, you get bonus damage.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've seen wrote that down.
It's Mark of the Hunt.
Yeah,
Yes, they all have
in favor.
their upgraded loot from their epilogues, everyone at home. So Dion, what is it you're doing? Well, you get up from prone, obviously, if you want.
Yeah.
And you
He's
wake
just
up and
gonna
you turn around, you see Pizzazz just peeking over the edge, or rather the top of his hat, or his staff rather, from behind full cover.
Like a skull on top of his staff.
Yeah. There are 8 mind flares. A couple of them have hit the deck. A couple of them are on fire. You see the pods have burst into flames. Many of them are wrecked, and Lanwar and Glack are just coming to, sort of stretching and readying themselves for this fight. But you're there with bow in hand, leaping into the affray.
Dion just goes, "For fuck's sake, Pizzazz could have fried us all." And I cast Hunter's Mark on the one at the top of my pod.
That dude there?
Yeah.
You got it. So suddenly, which pact did you take with Junkrat as the ghost in the machine? Was it Pact of the Blade, or Pact of the Tome, or Pact of the
Tome?
The Tome? Okay, so yeah, so similarly to Pizzazz, the earpiece that Lanmore fashioned for you, or whoever it was who fashioned for it, was it Lanmore? Tink?
It would be
I
Tink.
paid for it, but
Yeah, so the one that Lanmore had commissioned for you, it spreads these sort of almost tendril-like bits of metal and copper wiring in front of your eye, and suddenly there's a little glass panel in front of you. Deadshot, was he in Suicide Squad?
He was, yeah.
Deadshot.
Yeah, Suicide
Yeah,
Squad.
essentially that's what you have. Yeah, you
Yeah.
have a HUD now, and you see now marked
Power scanner
Favored.
from
favoured
Yeah.
terrain.
Power
His
scanner from Dragon Ball
power
Z.
scanner.
His power level is under 9,000.
It's quite a bit over 9,000 actually. It's surprising.
Yeah.
1.
And you fire.
It's
There you
level
go.
1.
Oh, I thought it was just 1 damage.
No,
Just at level 1. All right.
Yeah.
It actually was
roll
1
your
damage.
attacks for me. Roll your
I
attacks.
thought it would come up with the rest of the damage.
You need to roll the actual attack.
Yeah, you need to roll to hit with with the bow, with the insanely powerful bow.
Yeah, the
The
Hunter's Mark
sexy
damage.
time bow,
That actually is the Hunter's Mark damage is one.
It was 1.
So if you click the
I
9 dots in
can
the
get
circle, back to
special
action.
extra turn
Yeah.
on the first turn.
Yep. So you've
Oh,
got
nice.
another go at 8 as well.
This is not the first turn in combat. There's already been 3 turns in
Oh, I
combat.
thought it was my first turn.
I can't remember.
I think it would technically be his first turn in combat because it's basically 3 bonus turns.
Because then
Yeah,
the
'cause
second
that-
turn is like minus
technically,
10 initiative.
this is still the first turn.
Yeah, I think I've seen
Um,
it work like that with assassins, where a lot of people would have it. The time stop is extra before combat stuff usually.
Yeah.
Allow that this time, since it's probably the only time it's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's one of those.
Yeah.
Time stop is weird, essentially.
Yeah. You know what? Take it. Cool. And I'll add a second initiative for Dion.
It's only for the first time that you've put it there, though.
Yeah.
I'd say if he was the one that cast the time stop, then no. But he didn't.
33 to hit.
Fuck's sake, man.
I think you got him.
A 33 hits the scientist.
Specialized in cephalopods. No one? Jesus.
You can also, because it's your favourite enemy, you can roll 2d8s.
Yeah.
And you would need to expel well, that's for a first level spell slot.
Yeah,
You can
D8
smite.
The Hunter's Mark is first
essentially I
level.
gave him smite damage.
Nice!
Yeah,
Yeah.
You've basically got smite.
So now you have 2
Five.
Arporks that can smite.
So you just pick off another first level spell slot. And you can choose whether it's necrotic, radiant, psychic, or force.
Go the radiant.
Radiant, yeah.
It's probably not side.
Radiant. So actually,
Yeah,
you're
radiant.
marked. Yeah, so you're marked by death thing as well. Whenever you hit a creature with your hunter's mark, whenever you mark a creature with your hunter's mark spell and hit that creature, the creature is vulnerable to all the damage you do on the round you mark it. So, describe to me.
But it must make a con save against Dion's 8 plus Dion's dex plus proficiency bonus.
Dex.
A concept. Well, it's not gonna make
It
it.
must make a con save, DC 8 plus dex plus proficiency, on fail save, double damage.
Well, actually, that one took a pretty heavy beating. So,
She's dead.
yeah, no, it's not. It's not survived. So with this first attack, essentially, you leap out of your bow. You feel the heads-up display, and you fire a bow shot so powerful, you pin this. You knock this creature back a full 7 or 8 feet and pin it into the wall. It's like right between the eyes, I imagine.
Well, it's only got one, so right through the pupil.
Oh, that's the wrong one.
It has one eye? What?
Yeah, it's got 2 eyes.
What say? Is it at least my
I
way?
thought Mind Flayers just had one.
No, they have 2.
No, they have to.
They've
No,
got-
you're
they're-
thinking of Nothics.
Yeah, it is nothing still.
Uh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
No. So you
my players
fire.
can have anywhere between 2 and 8 eyes.
Yeah. You fire at this thing,
yeah.
and yeah, it just is pinned to the wall. That goblin in the Fellowship of the Ring.
Another one.
Because I'm annoyed and my bow is hungry.
Yes. More of the favorite enemies.
Dion just strokes the bow gently. Like, more will come.
Yeah, you still have
Maybe.
a second attack, man.
can't change the hunter's mark this turn.
Yeah, I'm
unfortunately.
gonna switch it to the guy on my right.
No, you
That's a-
use your bonus action to
Yeah.
cast it.
You can do it next turn.
Yeah,
You
you
can't
can
do
shoot. Yeah, you can shoot that guy. You can't move the mark.
Swapping hunter's mark onto
Yeah,
that
we'll,
guy. Yeah.
we'll just say that you do that next turn. You can't do it this turn because this is the
right,
turn
okay.
you chose to cast it. My ones don't look like that. Their robes are sort of white and black,
Yeah.
a bit like Xemnas's in the final fight in Kingdom Hearts 2.
It's the creature, though, basically, with their eyes.
I'll take your word for that. I have no idea what that person looks like.
People at home, you know.
Did
Roll
I?
your second.
Did I
Roll your
know?
audience. You're aware.
Yeah, that's probably just me in the chat at the moment.
No, it's me. It's all for me. I'm the audience.
It's like, I don't fucking know.
Dion,
Kingdom
roll your
Hearts.
second attack, man. Come on. 19. It's actually gonna shield.
Ah.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. So you watch as a blast of psychic energy just knocks your arrow away.
What?
Afraid to say, and you feel enraged. You fool!
Yeah, that's the other campaign he feels raged.
That is your turn. It is the Mind Flayers now. That guy's shield drops immediately. And oh, actually, you know what? No, they're surprised, so they actually can't. So that does hit, and he takes that 13 points of damage. So he takes 13 damage. Perfect. The Mind Flayers are surprised. Surprised. It's Gwack's turn. Gwack, you come to, and sad to say, some of your knitting has caught a flame.
No.
I know. That's the true casualty of war.
Yes.
But you come to, and you look across at the scene. One of the Mind Flayers has already got an arrow through its skull. You assume Dion. Actually, Dion, do you want to use your movement at all to get to a more advantageous point?
Would only have
Yeah.
half movement.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
should.
you've got 15 feet left, and each square is 5 feet, by the way. But this is a fairly small room.
Take me to there.
5, 10. You've got 5 foot more with you there.
Alright.
So you've got a clear viewpoint on those three guys.
Yeah.
But Glack, it's your turn. You're in this further away. You're subject 4. You're in that further away pod.
Sits up.
Subject 5, rather.
Which one of you threw glass at me? I mean, I was sleeping, and you threw glass at me.
Dion shouts, there was fire, so it was pizzazz.
Their faces literally seem unfathomable. Because they have squid faces. They seem unfathomable. But this one over here, the one that's least damaged, points towards Pizzazz's staff.
It was him.
The one that saved points at the actual culprit.
Every goddamn time, Pizzazz. Right. You, I'm going to take out my frustration on him, on you. Bad luck. And for once, I'm going to pull out a weapon.
Oh.
Lanois,
Brad's
you
gonna
may
pull out his
recognise it
weapon.
definitely as one of Mary's daggers, which in Glad hands looks more like a short sword.
Yes, indeed it
This-
does.
This is what I call my merrymaker. Enjoy.
That was a good
I'm
one.
going to hit him.
God,
Oh.
pulls out his
Plus
merry
20.
maker.
Plus 20.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he has some insane modifiers.
And that would be thunder damage.
You choose thunder damage?
Yeah.
Perfect. So you pull out the Merrymaker and just it begins. You just see almost storm clouds billow up the edge of its form, and as you reach out and just slash down, you watch as this thing just gets like the blow of it almost knocks it backwards, but it barely keeps its footing. 19 points of damage. And a thunderous boom is heard by the rest of you. A couple of the Mind Flayers look around, eyes wide in fear that they've not seen a weapon like this.
In my head, I'm also using it as my talisman because I took Pact of the Talisman, so I imagine that the actual handle starts to spread bioorganics down his arm as well.
Yeah.
Like a Nintendo Power Glove.
Yeah. Essentially, the handle of it, it's almost like a basket hilt broadsword, but it almost seems to fuse with your glove and partially up your forearm as well. Because I don't think you can be disarmed while you hold it. Is that right? Is that a feature I gave you?
No.
Maybe that's one I was
It's
thinking
fun.
about. Maybe that's one I was thinking about giving, but chose against it because you're already super powerful. But yeah, you watch as it's almost like the glove is plugged into the sword, like a fencing sword. You have more attacks.
You got a
Yeah,
prototype
so I'm gonna
rapier.
spin round, just a simple punch in the face to that one.
36
gonna-
hits.
Like, spin back to that guy, hit him again with the sword,
Oh, so the guy to the south
then-
was taking the punch, right?
back to this one, another punch. Just spin, slap, spin, stab, spin, slap.
So the guy to the south was taking the punches.
Yeah.
The guy to the north was taking the.
All punch, all thunder.
And your lowest roll is a 24.
Mm.
Damn.
I know, it's a real bad roll, to be fair.
It was.
I mean,
So he
to be
takes
honest, none of
30
them that
points
great.
total. 30 points total.
I
And one
mean-
above takes another 17.
Glak is who you want to take when you're fighting the Tarask.
Yeah. So you just a whirl of blades and fists, like just the world's most powerful fencer, or swordsman, and you just watch these two mind flayers are crumpling in upon themselves. They cannot withstand another barrage like that.
Do mind flayers have a language, by the way?
They do. It's deep speech, which you all understand because of the earworm in your skulls, which was surgically grafted to them. Also,
You
they have a
can
written
run now.
language.
Okay, I'm just gonna now you can run away, or else I have to hit you again. And then just start picking bits of glass off.
At this point, it's Dion's extra turn. Sorry, Lanmore.
It's alright.
Dion, you have your extra turn now.
Damn.
Yeah.
Neil.
Yeah.
Oh.
Should be coming now. There we go.
Natural one.
There we go. So which guy were you firing at? That guy there? Do you move your
yeah.
hunter's mark, right? To him?
Yeah.
Perfect. So you just switch laser focus and draw the arrow a little too soon. In fact, you're a bit trigger happy, which is unsurprising. It whizzes round and Glak just sort of bats it to one side as if to say, "Yeah, let's not have you shoot me again." It just fires. It fires in between the two mind flares.
He missed so badly, he's at the call.
We have lost Neil, so we will skip past and come back as Lanmore. It's your turn.
Oh, he's
There
back.
he is.
Yep. Do we have it, Neil?
Yeah.
Landmark.
Yeah.
Yay.
Do the other.
Neil, your second attack then, Neil.
Shoot it.
A 20 would hit. That guy is going to shield. So he does manage to just whip up a psychic defense this time. He's seen your tricks before, and you missing that first time has shaken your confidence a little bit, but you grit your teeth. You know these creatures, you know what they're trying to do. And they had you enslaved and in a ooze matrix for 100 years. You are royally pissed off. As Lanmore, it's your turn, and you've just watched one of them get blasted back by the force of a thunderous sword. One of them gets shot through the eye, and you feel a little bit of pain. But more than that, however, you feel a certain conviction. The tang on the air. This is not nature, but it is definitely your world. You can feel the spirits of the world around you in the air. Certainly not in the earth. There is no earth. This is just a metallic sort of room full of shining lights and electronic equipment, and you don't like it. But You are alive. What do you do?
Setting up. Please don't set me on fire again. And ow, the glass.
That's great acting.
Also,
ow, the
ow.
glass. Oh no.
But it's not that sore. He's broken glass bottles before, and with being an alchemist, and goes, oh well. And I'm gonna expend one of my wild shapes to turn into an ice spider.
An ice spider. Perfect. Is that an action for you?
Yes.
He's not
Perfect.
moving.
So you become. Is an ice spider large? Before I change your size. If they're not, this one
large
is
beast. Yes, large
perfect.
beast.
It's not
So
the
you
one
are-
huge spider, essentially.
There you go. You bust out, so the rest of you see just 8 legs and a massive crystalline white form, just studded with bits of electronic rubies and crystal and just bits of arcanite really embedded in this thing's carapace, hairy carapace, and just wires, copper wires again, silverish wires, moving up and down its form.
So he looks a
along
bit
with-
like the Fool's Arcanite spiders. Then.
A bit like the Fool's Arcanite spiders, in fact, yeah. And it just busts out of this thing, still dripping glass, and the mind flayers look a little freaked at this. Or a couple of them do, anyway. As Pizzazz, it's back to you.
Okay. So, gonna bonus action cast Hex again. I'll get off of my pact. So I'm gonna Hex this guy again.
Just at second level again.
Second level again, yep. Don't get any bonus on damage for some reason. No, higher levels it's just concentrate on it for longer. So I am gonna I'm not gonna Eldritch Blast him because he's currently prone. I have disadvantage. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna Toll Dead on him.
Told Dead's a decent spell. He's obviously taken damage, so it'd be 4d12.
Yep.
Do you have empowered cantrips?
Don't believe so.
Evocation was
That's so. Yeah, okay, yeah, I just couldn't remember if it was a thing of his. Because let's be fair, I made these things with a lot of abilities, so I can't remember them all off the top of my head.
It'd be very cool if it has.
Rolls a wisdom save. It is
Yep.
proficient in wisdom, so it can theoretically make this, and it does have magic resistance because it's a spellcasting.
Thing.
Uzuma, what's it?
Squid Man.
17 plus 6 makes it a 23, so I believe that does manage to save against the Toll of the Dead. But it is hexed, and you're which one? Remind me, the guy up top. Yeah.
Yeah. So then I am going to.
The laser
Pull up my
sight
map.
comes forth again.
So then I'm gonna move over to that. So I was there. So okay. Yep. Let's move to that.
Where were you stood before? Just there, or crouching
I was,
behind
I was
the?
crouching in between.
Yeah, that's fine. So they're not. Yeah, so you're now crouching back behind Junkrat's pod, essentially.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, and you can, Neil, could you stop breathing in the mic?
You're
please?
nearly evading
You're,
it.
you're, so yeah, you can actually see Junkrat's long dead form, almost mummified, kind of still juicy, kept alive, obviously. Well, not kept alive, kept fresh. It's like a dead vegetable in the fridge, you know.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's clearly your friend Junkrat. but he's
You mean all
gone.
brown and rotten?
Yeah.
his,
All brown and just gone.
His-
But the machine parts are all still
his
there.
diet's really working for him.
Did his pod open as well?
No, he fused his pod when he died, if you remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he essentially deadlock sealed his pod.
Okay, so that'll change what I was going to do there then.
Yeah.
Ray's dead.
But we're back to Dion the Hunter, as there are no lair actions. This is just a lab. Dion, it is your turn.
The coffee machine dings is the lair action.
This guy has a +5. Oh, actually, no. As a lair action, I get to see if that thing happens. It does not happen. Never mind. But the 17, is it the same guy?
Yes.
He is still shielded, I'm afraid, so that's going to miss him. Even without him
damn it.
casting shield, he is 22 AC at the moment.
Okay, we've got to change that then. Damn it, that will still miss.
Yep, and again, Dion, you just fight like he's almost toying with you now. In fact, and this is one of the guys who was outside.
Maybe
your
I'm
pod.
toying with them.
Yeah, this is one of the mind flayers who was clearly investigating your pod as well. And you suddenly flash back and you remember this exact mind flayer was one of the ones who was surgically grafting the earworm into your brain. And you feel just an anger towards him. As it steps towards you, they are aware of all your abilities.
He has dibs on your
You know what?
brain.
It doesn't actually have to step towards you. So those two, that one there, and that one there, are both going to target Lanoir. This one here is going to target Dion. This one here, and that one there are going to target Glack. And these two are going to slump rather, because they do still have orders. Actually. No, that one's going to disengage and try and move towards the door. So Glack, you would get an attack of opportunity if you wanted it, first and foremost.
Yes, please.
Mm-hmm.
Carrot's backing head off.
And Sentinel.
Yeah.
Well, actually, that's double the hit points he had left. So he just sees you with like just twirling around like a whirling dervish, and you crack out with your sword, and he just
To be fair,
sonic boom crashes against the corner paneling there. The metal pad in his hand skittering out of his hand and sliding to the floor before he can even get to the door.
to be fair,
So that was their runner has gone.
Sentinel did technically stop him moving.
I mean, yeah.
It stopped him, his body continued.
So, Pizzazz, I need let me see, that would be an intelligence save with disadvantage, so it's a flat roll for you. Lanoir, I need an intelligence save with disadvantage. Dion, I just need an intelligence save from you, and Glack, I just need an intelligence save from you.
Good saving throws.
Nice.
Oh, damn. That's real good. Yeah, plus 1.
Well, I'd hope so, with the +10.
Oh, it's great.
Only had advantage.
I had disadvantage.
Fuck.
And I nat 20'd on the first one, and the second one was like,
It's okay. It's
we'll
average.
just give
The
you,
other one is average.
we'll just give you a 12.
So that's 45. You all succeeded, so you all take 22 points of psychic damage. And you feel a strange.
Can I use a vision?
No, that's on dex saves only.
God,
You can't. Your brain can't dodge it.
Your brain moves to the side of your skull, and you just go, "Ah!"
it budges over a bit. How much damage was it? Sorry.
20. You all succeeded, so you all take 22 points of psychic damage. As that is this. That's their first action.
Actually, what?
What's
Was that
up?
a spell? Sorry.
That was so they all of them put their hands to the side of their heads and just look at you, and you all feel just a ringing in your ears. You also feel a strange sort of almost squealing and writhing, as if of a pig being brought to slaughter. As you swear, you can't tell if it's true. You swear you can feel the little worm thing inside your brain just squiggle a bit, as if to say, this isn't right. That is their turn. At the end of their turn...
Was that just an area effect spell? What was that?
It's a Mind Flayer's weird ability.
It's their psionic blast.
Alright, and is that classed as a spell?
No, it's just an action. Much like... trying to think. Much like an action surge is an action is a thing.
To roll to maintain concentration on Dex.
And they don't get it back for next turn, which means they can do some fun spell stuff.
Cool.
But it's
I've
Glack's
still got
turn.
Dex.
I thought I told you to go away. And sword.
I think he's dead.
Yeah, those both hit. And actually the first one takes that guy down. We'll just move the second one onto the other
I
dude.
hop onto the next one.
Yeah, you're just making your way through them now. The second one doesn't take that one down. He was they were a bit beefier.
So then I punch him in the back of the head.
Bonk!
21 and a shield.
Apply bonk
My
again.
spell. Boom.
Oh.
Shield that.
He cannot. This one looks at death's door. That's such a shame. One more hit point.
Oh.
You
That's
better
Glack.
run, boy.
That's Glack. Initiative count 10 swings around. And this is a better chance of succeeding, so it's a D8 now. Still doesn't succeed. Okay. So we move past initiative count 10. It's Landward's turn.
Okay. The giant spider is going to bite the one straight in front of him. 16.
Is that the one to the south?
Yeah.
16 isn't going to hit, I'm afraid.
Yeah. I didn't think so. 'Cause it's a monster. I'm using monster stats.
Is it your second attack?
I think the spider only gets one.
Yeah, spiders only get single attack.
That's a shame.
They usually get one pretty beefy attack, but it is one.
Hmm.
Yeah, it has a chance to poison him if it actually hit.
I imagine the poison's pretty brutal as well, because it usually is.
Any
mean-
bonus action attacks?
It's
Any bonus action spells or anything, rather?
I can't do anything as a bonus action because I'm in the spider form. I can't use my spell. It's in shit.
If you're high enough
Level
druid level, you should be able to-
18 druid, I believe.
At 18.
Believe
Yeah.
so.
You can attempt it. You've not attempted it in this world yet.
Let's see.
You can always attempt something. What do you attempt?
Could you not attempt to like web them if you're a spider?
They usually do get some web thing. I don't know how it works with that specific one though, 'cause it's different for nearly
That's
every
an
single
action
spider.
It's an action for a web.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
So I was tempted to use the web to
Well,
try and just like go
cool.
no.
Well, it's
I-
very underpowered, so you know what? I will let you have like a couple of leg attacks instead. We'll call it a 2d6 damage if you hit.
Okay.
It's a great
Or get your
sword.
mandibles out.
That's what the teeth are.
It's +5, so. Nope.
Nope. 19?
19 would hit. It's gonna shield.
Counter spell.
That's just
Alright.
petty.
All right. Okay.
I counter your counter spell
I counter your level 1 spell.
with a level 2 counter spell.
Level 3.
Yeah. So roll 2d6 plus, I believe it's 3 or 4 piercing damage, please.
3 plus 3. 2d6. 1, 2.
Oh,
7 points.
not bad.
Is this plus
What?
3 or plus what?
Plus 3.
So 10 points, and roll another d6 for me. And we'll say it takes that in cold damage as well because you're a nice spider.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right, audience. We're making shit up on the fly tonight. Yeah,
That's how you do it. That's the only way
That's
to
how
do
you-
it.
that's the only way when you're in a series finale situation. Cool. Takes an 2 points of cold damage. There's a bit of rhyme, and Arcanite magic tech just spurts out of the side sort of vents of this creature you are.
See you.
Decent turn. Pizzazz, back to you.
Okay. I've not got the stats for the undead spirit.
Is it the summon undead thing from the new book? I can probably find it if it is.
Yeah, if you go to... It's on 5e tools. You can probably do that next round.
No, I'll do one with not in the middle of battle.
That's why I'm getting it now. So.
All right.
Yeah, because I'm not doing anything.
Yeah, in that case, I'm going. No, I'm not going to summon it yet because that's still concentration. I'm currently concentrating on hex. So instead, I am
Want to stump
going...
your wizards, DM? Give them a magic item full of concentration spells.
So instead, I am going to cast Scorching Ray at 4th level.
Mm-hmm.
Just put it
So
in
two-
Darkside Towers.
5 total attacks. So first one against my hexed guy.
Mm-hmm. So it's at necrotic as well.
So that's 23 to hit.
Can't even shield.
So that's 7 fire damage plus my hex damage. So that's another 1.
Mm-hmm.
So 8 damage there.
I'm going to say damage, yep.
How's he looking?
All of them are looking definitely scorched and mechanically bloodied. The one to the south looks like pretty weak. This one looks a bit beefier than that one. But your shadows, your heads-up display, sort of crossfires are hit on this one.
Right.
Yeah, he's looking pretty rough.
So second shot's into my hex guy as well. For a 32 to hit. And that is 5 damage.
Mm-hmm.
And hex again. So another 4 on top of that.
Yep, minus another 9. Still looking rough.
Third shot into him. For a 24.
Yeah.
That's 4 and another d6. Another 9. Yes. 7.
Another
I'll do
7
that.
off. Yeah, looks real bad.
Okay, 4th shot. That's gonna hit.
God's sake.
I'll take off 3. For 6 damage, that was shite. That was a 1, 2, 3.
It had 6 damage left, so how does your sort of, as you blast it with these 4 jets of fire, how does the hex sort of drain the last of its? How does your particular Magitech infused with necromancy wizard just draw out the last of this thing's life energy?
So, as he does it, or as the hex blasts into him, it's like the palladium poisoning from Iron Man 2.
Oof.
Yeah,
Nasty.
yeah. Yeah, and this thing just slumps to the ground. It's beyond resurrection now, if it even could be resurrected.
Then
And you
bonus
still have
action-
one blast left.
Yep. Bonus action, move my hex onto this guy.
You might want to hold off on that, but let's give it a shot.
Fair enough. Okay then, I'll hold off on that then, and then
He's
last
very
one-
single digits.
Last one is a crit.
No.
Yeah, and you know what, actually? With the 4 hit points left, and since you do at least 4 damage with your 4d6, that one similarly just is engulfed. The last of its robes, where before you just... Actually, that's overkill now.
That
was
is
that
more than
earlier.
4 times its health.
Yeah, it was that earlier.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just gotta
Um,
make sure.
You just set the robes of that one on fire, and it screams and rolls around on the floor, but just doesn't manage to put itself out. The
Then-
delayed blast fireball took
In
out
that
most of it.
case, I will move my hex onto this guy then, because
Yeah.
he looks the least damaged.
Yeah, the little sort of heads-up display dots / Junkrat's little dragon-looking thing. It's almost like the virus from Jurassic Park or something like that. It just sort of swings over there and goes, this guy here, this guy here.
All I can imagine
Oh my
is
God.
a little 16-bit Junkrat, like two-handed pointing, going this guy.
Get him!
Yep, that's. There was an option for this music or 8-bit style, so maybe next time. So this dude is also marked. Look at that. We're back up to initiative count 20, and it gets even higher because 2 more of them are dead, so it comes up to that, and a 16 is high enough. So you watch as the pods begin to flicker back on again, and stepping out, they were all exploded. You know what? Never mind. So the pods begin to flicker back up, and a couple of them open out as these 3 mind flayers left go to tap something on their billboard, on their what do you call them? Not billboards.
iPad.
Tablets.
They're basically. I wanted to try and not say iPads. They're
Oh,
metal.
no, what? There was
metal
an
clipboard looking
in-game.
things.
There was an in-game law.
Galaxy
Zyphones.
tablets.
Sorry, be a iPad.
Yeah, as iPad.
Zypad!
Yeah, they tap their metal clipboards, and a couple of them spring open, and most of the inhabitants, now having been rocked by the explosion, have succumbed, and also the pods being switched on and off like Project Phoenix and Rick and Morty. These things are just gone, but you do hear crunching sounds as if of skulls beginning to explode. Almost. They sound a bit like the chest burster in Alien and Aliens, except it's coming from these things' heads. And Pizzazz, you see one of them is in there, right beside where you are. Just so you're aware of what might be coming, and you certainly do see the mind flayers that are left become less unfathomable and more like, yeah, we might have this. Sort of look on their faces. As Dion, it's back to you.
Belko Experiment, that was the one. I was going, what was that movie that that happened in? Belko Experiment.
Aliens.
No, it was Belko Experiment, the heads literally blow up.
You mean
Or
scanners?
Event Horizon.
Yeah, Event Horizon.
Dion, we're back to you.
And I'm hoping that hits. Yep.
Most
28.
definitely, yeah.
Didn't he have 1 hit point left? So
It's less than
you're
that
aiming,
now.
aiming at the same person as you were before.
Thought you had more, sorry.
Yeah, no, that one's gone.
Sorry.
And then you switch attention back around to this one. Roll your... I assume you switch your Hunter's Mark to that guy. Roll your Hunter's Mark damage. Little tip at home. If you want to upcast Hunter's Mark, you can use your Warlock spell slots to get an extra d6 that recharge on a short rest. Little helpful hint from your DM. Oh, it had 12 hit points left. It's gone as well.
Yay! You get an arrow.
So now,
You get an
now
arrow.
there's a single mind flare left against a room full of level 20 adventurers.
17.
No, you're 2
Yeah.
level 20s and 2 level 17s. No, you're level 20. You've all got 3
We've got
levels of warlock.
We've all got the 3-level warlock.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Well, you'll have that next week.
Yeah.
Your own fault.
If you survive.
I did say everyone gets it.
Ah,
Oh, you know what?
Did
You can have.
wonder why everyone was casting warlock spells?
Yeah, you know what? You can have the pact of the chain as Junkrat's little clockwork dragon familiar follows you around now. We'll play it that way. It just sort of slumps around you now.
fair enough.
Back to that mind flare. And last turn, it didn't get its psionic blast back, so
Screwed.
it knows your spellcasters. Yeah, it's going to duck behind full cover here. Full cover from Pizzazz, anyway. Glancing down the corridor, towards where the entrance hall is and where its comrade has fallen. You all hear in your mind, prisoners escaping from Ooze Matrix holding area 1. Request immediate assistance. That's its action to call out. It uses its bonus action and it's surrounded by this purplish mist as it steps out from behind full cover and uses its reaction to unleash it. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 feet. And it uses its movement to go the last 5 feet towards the door.
Sentinel.
Fine.
Bonk.
Ow.
Balls. That hits for 18 damage. And this was the healthy one. This was the one that passed the fireball.
Can you
It hasn't been hit since. So you watch as it just... immediate assistance required. This one that hits
ASAP.
alone facing 4 level 20s. Immediate assistance! Immediate assistance!
Shh. Go
And
to
you
sleep.
occasionally, you soon hear the quick sort of check-ins of, we will assist. Coming. Sort of
That's
stuff.
cast fireball.
God
It
damn,
is,
God damn it,
it is
Barry.
your turn, sir.
You're supposed to talk legibly over this.
Go to
What's
sleep,
that?
little mind flayer. Boom. Boom.
I think it's dead.
No,
Just
it's
in
still
case.
up.
Oh!
Boom.
The third one does knock it down, however. Yeah.
Props to that mind flare for being tough.
Yeah, I buffed them because this is their lair. So, all the mind flares are gone and down. Lanwar, you're a giant spider. Dion, you're somehow missing. Junkrat is dead and in his still sealed pod. And you all know that reinforcements are probably on the way fairly soon. What do? There are 2 doors. There's one there, and a set of double doors to the south. You can hear the running sort of footsteps coming from the northern door. This one here.
I got
So,
packed
when
with the
I mental linked with Dream Leon, you said that I kind of gathered where he was.
Yeah.
So would that have been to the north of here or to the south?
It would have been to the north, through that door, from which other people are coming.
Okay. Pizzazz
What's
will
happening?
say, Pizzazz will say, point to the door and say, Leon's that way.
All right, let's go get him.
As
You essentially have a full round to do prep work as the mind flayers from the other room are going to charge down the corridor.
I'd like my little servant to go in the spider's brain and take out the slug since I'm bigger, and it might be able to fit inside there now, the ear.
Ooh, that's interesting.
I'm just spiders don't really have a brain as such. So how the fuck does that work?
I mean, they
Is it
do.
just floating in there?
I'll allow it. You know what? I'll allow it. You might take some internal bleeding damage, but
I'm a druid, I can fix this later. I'm just hoping he doesn't do enough damage to drop the form.
Spider.
mm,
That'd be real unfortunate. You just turn back into a what race are you? Furball?
Firbolg.
With a clockwork
I
dragon
imagine
inside
you're
your head.
helping by not moving around a lot. So I'm just
Yeah.
going to roll a dexterity check for the dragon, the little clockwork dragon. It would be a hacker's tools check, technically.
Okay.
Damn.
17. It's got a +5, so that's a 22. I'm going to say it manages to get up to where it is, and it sort of mentally communicates to you the image of what it sees. And it sees this creature, this worm-like slug thing, bound to sort of feeding on your brain activity. It's sort of bound between your brain and the bundle of nerve endings that head down your skull. So it finds it, manages to make its way, and you want it to just rip it out, or what do you want it to do? What do you sort of mentally communicate back to this thing?
What did you say it was? Is it tangled down the thing?
It's it's sort of interlinked with the very back of your brain and where your memory cortex is, actually. Interestingly enough. And yeah, pretty much it's linked to your brain and to your spinal column, your nerve endings, really.
I'm not.
You don't mind losing some memories, do you?
I want it to bite it off the spinal column.
Okay.
Your spinal
It
column.
gets in that one.
Again, it's a +5, and a 20 does hit the thing. It had 2 hit points. That is enough to bite down into it. But Lanwar, I need you to make me an intelligence saving throw, please.
Okay. And saving throw. Here we go. 23.
Okay.
Oh, I meant to ask as well. See, with my summon undead spirit,
Yes.
because it's 5 charges. Was it meant to be cast at level 5?
No, just as its base level.
3.
All right, so level 3. All right.
Because it's a summoning thing and it's quite powerful.
I mean, undead spirits aren't that powerful.
It's still an extra body, depending on what
Depends
you're
how you use
fighting.
So Lanwar, you take half of that, so 17 points of psychic damage, and you don't lose a bunch of points from your intelligence.
I'd like to use my tattoo to absorb it.
Now, is your tattoo on your spider form? Let's be reasonable.
Because if it does that, that little fuck's dead. Because I got 4 as a spider.
What do you do? You activate your tattoo?
As an ice spider, your HP should be 14.
My HP was, what, 24? And I took 22 damage, so it should be... I'm at 4.
There's some glass shattered.
That didn't shatter on your
Surely-
spider form.
Yeah, I was gonna say that would be the 22 would be before the spider form.
Oh no, he got hit by the arcane blast
the-
from the mind flayers.
Yes.
Yeah, I forgot about
That's
that.
Tell you what, you can say that your tattoos are on this form. It's just good to know going forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if it's,
I'd imagine so.
I will use the tattoo to absorb the psychic damage.
Okay then.
It's one thing, and it's going to save me losing the little guy at the very start of it,
Or your
Yeah,
head.
or my.
Yeah.
Yeah,
One
more
of
importantly.
the two things might
So-
explode. Yeah.
So half the half damage is turned into health. So what was?
Yeah. So it was
17.
you halved it to 17. So half of that is 8. So you gain 8 health as a spider back, and you just feel a weird sort of. It's like when a fever breaks, or sort of brain fog lifts, or something like that happens. You just feel a weird sense of release, like a pressure on the back of your head has just been suddenly lifted away. However, you lose the ability to speak and understand deep speech and all the sort of knowledge of a Lithid tech, essentially.
It's okay, Lam. The rest of us can translate.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure they can.
We'll give you the help action.
Mm. But yeah, you no longer understand my players, and you are no longer linked to their Scion network, which could be good, could be bad. Come the final fight, you don't know. Everyone else, you still have. We'll say that was pretty much all of your turn there, Lam. What does anyone else wish to do to prepare?
I'm going to pop out my astral form, and I'm also going to dump in a little bit of foresight on myself.
Okay, so how does that manifest? Like, what do you do? Do you sort of Zenyatta
Damn.
coalescence thing, or pass the iris thing?
No, so when his astral arms come out, they come out and they retract to his hand, so it's closer than it usually is. It just flows up and gives him a big poofy Bragg-style hair, like always flying in some kind of breeze, always flowing.
Yeah, because kobolds, they don't usually have hair, so this is
Now he's got
a
a
new experience.
Now
He's got a quiff of his own.
Now he has.
amazing kind of
Matt Berry
Elvis-like
hairstyle.
quiff.
Yep, he's got a Matt Berry hairstyle. Yeah, amazing. Can't be surprised if I was going to attack ability checks and saving throws. Other creatures have disadvantage.
Yeah, foresight is badass. It's just so
Yeah.
rare to
He
get someone
can-
who needs it.
Yeah, he can only do that once a day, however, and this is like the first room. Let's be fair.
8
Yeah,
hours.
but that's
Um,
8 hours.
Yeah. So, so it does.
It's like someone has to dispel it,
Um,
essentially.
So you head towards the door, I imagine. Anyone else?
I'm also gonna cast Summon Undead Spirit.
Mm-hmm.
So Wolfie kindly got the stats for that.
Yeah.
Thank you. So yeah,
I'm
what does
gonna-
the undead spirit look like?
So it is in putrid form.
Oh.
So it essentially looks like
Does it look like anyone you know, like Qualish or I forget the mind flayer. Alhoun.
no. It doesn't look like anyone that we recognise.
Okay.
It's essentially you wouldn't be able to tell anyway because its face is essentially melting.
Mhm.
Its whole body appears to just be constantly melting, but it's dripping, but it's not losing any flesh essentially.
The
and it's going to be stood about here next to door. I am going to draw a thing.
It's a little mini, like, abomination-y thing, isn't it? Little...
Basically.
Yeah.
So this blue dot is my thing.
Yeah.
I was
Blob.
gonna grab you a thing.
Not fair enough.
Blob monster.
If you want to grab me a thing, then grab me a thing.
They've
Yep.
got cool abilities. Like, I like the putrid. That thing's cool.
I was tempted to do ghost form, but no, it's fine.
I think putrid's cooler, to be honest.
Controlled by Ben. I'll just put all players. There we go.
Oh, nice.
All right. So you're still back there. Dion,
I'll
just you
do
left.
Back here, yep. Is
Do you
that the
prep
same
yourself
way
by the
you
door?
did?
Lanwell? Lan and Dion, what are you doing?
You,
Prepare-
well,
Uh,
I've already done my thing.
Oh, yeah, that's true. So then just Dion.
I'm just gonna go with the rest of them, and we head up to the double doors at the top.
Well,
Yeah, that one's just a single.
No,
we know people are coming. They're guarding that door. You might want to be ready to shoot things. That's just a suggestion.
Probably not be within 5 foot of my summon though.
Yeah. So
I
that's
wasn't gonna be
area,
getting too close to many people.
it's area 12.
That's it there.
So, like, if I were you, I would take a step back.
Yeah, that
Does
goes there.
Black take a step back? Perfect. So, we'll just drop back into the initiative order. Probably with Lanwar, I reckon, since Glack essentially just had a turn.
Isn't Black immune to the thing that it does?
Actually, yeah, I think
Yes,
you are
but-
immune to poison, aren't you?
He's a monk, so he's just completely immune to poison. So
Oh, that's fine then. You can be where you were.
So, they charge through, readying their psionic blasts. Lanwar, it's your turn.
my chat went weird then.
I shoot a web at the first one coming in.
Unfortunately, a 13 doesn't hit, and it flies over its head like a thick goblet of slime. Yeah, just missing entirely. And you're too far away to do your special ice spider stuff. So, Pizzazz, it's your turn. We'll just say your summon acts on your turn, either before or after your turn.
It's fine. So,
I'm having fun. It's quite fun.
Can I order my servant to start making its way back out of my brain?
Oh, it's technically not your servant. It's Junkrat's
Yeah,
little
little
buddy.
creation. But much like Junkrat is sort of with you at all times. It's there. It's obviously not going to stick around inside your head. It's done its job. It flies back out with the thing in its jaws, and it sort of presents it at your feet like a faithful hound.
Like a cat bringing you a present.
Like
Yeah.
a cat bring you a dead bird.
But Pizzazz, yes.
Yeah.
yeah.
You watch as this thing flies out of the side of Lanwar's head, back on his turn. Like at the end of his turn, we'll see.
Okay. Yeah. So, at this point, yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
Okay. What are you doing?
Media swarm.
Dare I ask?
just checking to see if the spell goes around corners.
Yeah, it can ricochet.
It doesn't say it does.
What spell is it?
Happy Delzim's Horrid Wilting.
Yeah, it's everything from a point you choose
Yes.
within a radius.
Yeah, I think it is literally like just throw it into a room and close the door.
Yeah.
Kind of ability.
Happy Delzim's Horrid Wilting, everyone.
It doesn't say that it goes around corners, so it would
You
like
posted in the chat there for the audience.
It just fills the
You
room.
can.
Yeah, 30-foot cube centered on a point you choose within range. So you can just put it there and
Yeah.
it just goes.
Yeah, so that could be any cube really.
Yeah, I didn't do the actual
That's all right.
writing of
It's I believe a con save.
Yep,
So
con
they all have magic
22,
resistance. And they all have con.
So I centered it about here.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it would have been probably on that.
So-
Actually, that square at the back.
Pass, fail. Plus 5 is a 22, so just succeeds. Pass, fail, pass. Fail, pass, fail, fail, pass. Okay. Good to know.
Good mix in
Okay,
there.
so all the ones that failed take the full 58. All the ones that failed take 29.
It's a lot of typing from me today. Half of 58, 25, 29.
I did say.
Sorry, yeah, my brain's all over the place.
It's fine. It's hot as
fine.
hell.
There's a lot of.
It's warm and there's a lot of things to keep track of. Yeah, it's fine.
Y'all got a lot of enemies.
Yep.
Minus 56. 58 rather. Minus an R2 from that. Minus 56. Yes. Minus 29. Minus 56. Minus 56. There we go. So you hear just in your all of you except for Lanwar hear this horrid cacophony of screams inside your head as these things, many of them are just forced to their knees, and you watch these essentially now walking calamari feasts shrivel up, many of them just losing moisture all around. Like something in this that's just been left out in the sun for far too long. Many of them look just god awful, like the undead mind flayer you fought earlier in your adventure. Bits of their tentacles are just sloughing off. Initiative count 20 rolls round,
Good word.
and
Also, at the end of my turn, my summon runs in as well.
yeah, fine.
So someone runs in, up to this guy,
Mm-hmm.
and it attacks, and it uses my spell mod.
This is one of the ones that succeeded. This is the one that succeeded.
Okay. So does a 24 hit?
It does. And these are again all dressed like the scientists that you fought before.
Mhm. So it's D6 plus.
It's strength.
We'll get to you, Wolfie. Don't they're close. You know, they're getting there.
You'll get there.
They're,
Don't
they're a
worry.
couple rooms away. Don't worry.
Don't worry. So far, it's still less time than last time. So.
That's
I can
7
press.
slashing damage on it.
Takes it.
Because it hasn't started its turn within 5 foot. It's not poisoned, or
It's not poisoned
it hasn't
yet.
had a con save yet.
Yeah, it's the
It's
point.
about to. You can move it round to probably. There's a little gap there that it can just slip around, and it can start its turn within those 4.
Yep.
but it won't be in the face of this thing. This thing could just walk forward. Just
fine.
that's the trade-off.
That's fine. They'd have a disadvantage on their attacks next round anyway.
Yep.
If
As
they get a contest.
yes, indeed. So Dion, it's your turn. The undead spirit just sort of schlepping up to the front runner there and slashing at it before moving round to the side, giving you a clear shot. And you can see mind flayers about 2 or 3 deep, just pressing in on your location. You have them at a bottleneck. This is your advantage, sir.
We will hold them at the hot gates, where the numbers shall count for nothing.
So I'm assuming
You
bonus
still
action.
have, yeah, you still
bonus
have your hunter's mark and your hex is gone, though.
Yeah, my hex is gone. That's fine.
Yeah, because you're doing that thing. So Neil, it is on you with the mind flayers next, and then Glax on deck. Dion.
Yeah, I accidentally done some.
You have left roll 20,
Yeah.
apparently, so we will come back to you. I imagine you just stay back and fire, though, unless you want to fire a lightning arrow, which you're a little too far back to get there. 5, 10, 15. Yeah, so it's the Mind Flayer's turn. What do I need to roll here, Ben?
Con. It's con save.
Con save.
Yeah,
For
not
all the
against,
ones within 5 feet of it?
yeah, not against a spell though. It's just a passive ability.
Not against a spell. That's very important. 4d20. Okay, so the ones that are 5 feet around it. Is it against Ben's spell save DC?
Yep.
Cool, so 2 successes, 2 failures. What happens on a failure, please, Wolfie?
On a failure, it is poisoned until the start of its next turn.
So that one is poisoned. And that one is also poisoned. Actually, I'll use a green dot instead.
Ah, it's much cooler, yeah. I actually used that skull
Identical.
symbol for a custom effect I've had before in one of my games. It was Doom.
Cool. Godum.
Yeah, pretty much.
So that's... Is that just what happens? Do they take any damage?
No, they are just poisoned. It has another thing
Yeah.
if it hits
Just,
a poison.
just poisoned.
Alrighty, so those 2 there are poisoned. That one there still moves past and moves into the room. That one there
Hello,
will also
sailor.
move.
Punch him in the side of the head.
Yeah. Would I get opportunity attack?
It would. They're not. They're going to ignore. They're going to ignore a summon. You get an attack of opportunity against one of them, probably the one that was in 5 feet of you.
Okay.
So the poison ones are going to stay with us.
That one. So an 18. I'm assuming they're going to shield.
Ooh. Yeah, it is. And it's a little 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. You could counter it if you wanted to.
That's fine.
Stepping over the corpses of their brethren. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Bonk.
Gets to there.
These ones, Black should have got an opportunity attack against.
Yeah, so you can also gain an opportunity if you wished, Black.
Yep.
I rolled it.
Already punched it. 28 to hit.
Was that the dude at the front? Yeah.
Yeah, first guy that came in gets a smack in the side of the head.
Cool. So he's about 5 foot back then, and we'll just swap the places of him. He was undamaged, but he does take 20 damage. That's a massive smack.
He was a Lin.
That's a fly with a size 12 shoe that you just used.
He was undamaged.
Jesus.
How's he undamaged?
Not undamaged.
Only damaged by the
unpoisoned. Unpoisoned, rather.
Right.
Well, he doesn't like that. And there are 4 mind flayers now around you. What can they do? Is it a 60-foot cone? I believe it's a 60-foot cone. It is a 60-foot cone. And this is their mind. There's their intellect blast. So it would catch all 3 of you, in fact. So these 2 at the front here are going to use their mind blast on the 3 of you that are in the room. Those 2 there. So I need intelligence saves from Dion, Lanmore, and Pizzazz with disadvantage, please. Because there are 2 of them. Pizzazz succeeds.
Ooh,
Oh,
we
really?
got on that one.
10.
Dion might as well have that one.
8d8 plus 4.
Dion's still smarter than Leon. I'm a paladin and my saving throw intelligence isn't that good.
So, those of you who failed take 38 points of psychic. Those of you who succeeded take 19.
Right. Yes.
Those of you who failed are also knocked prone.
Yay!
Um,
20.
and there are 4 on black, so they're all going to concentrate down. Well, actually, we
Yeah.
only need 2 to provide the disadvantage.
Shrink
We
me
go
down.
straight really far down.
Yeah, you know what? The 2 of them that are nearest you are going to target you, but the other 2 are going to target you with spells. So I'll need an intelligence save with disadvantage from you, Black.
Well, they have a disadvantage on attacking me, don't they? For an attack roll.
It's not an
It's
attack.
not an attack roll. They
okay.
just target in your direction with a big blast of psychic energy.
It's like a breath weapon, is the best way to describe it,
Yeah,
honestly.
essentially.
You want to shrink me down?
But you do
Because
have you do have advantage on saving throws, though, I believe. So
I do.
we'll just take that first roll of a 19, which the DC is actually 20, I'm afraid.
Oh,
Oh.
So you also take the 38 points of psychic damage and are knocked prone.
so close.
The 2 that are directly behind those, let me see. You know what? They're annoyed with you, and they know you're the big damage dealer. So, and you are prone.
Do
So
it.
dex saves are a thing.
Do it. Actually, not close. Aw.
They only have so high a spell slot, though, is the thing.
I realise not close. I haven't seen the classic Mind Flayer thing for years. But,
their spells have gone. That's annoying. Come on, move. Get down the fucking page.
work, scroll wheel, damn you.
They have no spells.
Yeah.
Moving on.
It's they do have spells. It's it would be that one there. So that would both would be their higher. Yeah, that'll be it. Perfect. Could I get 2 dexterity saves from you, please?
Okay. What? Still giving me disadvantage.
So a flat roll. We can just use the 24 and the 19 for your 2 rolls if you want.
No, I'll roll again for the second one.
Okay. So a 24 and a 26 both succeed. So 1, 2, 3, 4 plus another 4.
Okay,
Oh, no. Oh, that's annoying. Oh, yeah. You know what? You take no damage. As just these, so they're great maws, they're great tentacled maws, just turn an inky blackness, and they just latch out, seemingly elongating to about 20 foot long, and just wrap around you, just grabbing on, smacking onto you. But you just roll out of the way, this way and that, and they just lash out, missing you every single time.
I personally hate this, and I do not want to see this again.
Yeah, that was the.
Yeah, back.
That was that. That is their turn. We'll flick back to Dion. Dion, they were entering the room, and you would have got a couple of shots off. Would have been an extra 7 points. It would have been 28 points of damage there, actually.
I'd be attacking whoever was closest.
Yeah, so they were bouncing into the room essentially and just attacking everything in
There's been
its
somebody in
sight.
the doorway.
Yep. So
Yeah, so roll your attacks, please.
I would have marked them as well.
That's fine. 25 and a 32 would both hit. You've not sworn enemy yet, so 8 plus
No.
14, 22. Are you doing the once per turn extra damage on your sworn enemy thing? Or are you conserving your spell slots? Because you do have
I'm
a
conserving
finite
my
amount of
spells.
spell slots. Okay. But you did mark him, so roll 2 more die 6 for me, please. 22, and we'll call it that guy.
5.
22. Actually, that's enough to kill that one there.
Woohoo!
We'll say that goes off just as the Mind Blast falters. So he charges in, Glack smacks him, and he stumbles slightly, and then 2 shots right into the side of the chest and just crumples.
Glad put him in the line of fire for me.
Exactly, he did. We've done the Mind Flayers, and it's back to Glack. And you are... I mean... I'm not gonna say you're... Actually, no. You know what? These ones that are poisoned would target the summon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna do the their classic attack, a couple of technical attacks. Don't know if it's immune to psychic damage. We'll just do 2 tentacle attacks, both plus 7, 17 and a 10. Does that hit? Either of those hit?
Just double checking. It's 11 plus 3, so it's 14. So
Okay.
yeah, they both hit.
8 plus 4, 12 points of psychic damage, and 14 points of psychic damage. So 26 points of psychic damage, and that summoned spirit is grappled if it can be grappled. It might not be able to be grappled.
Damage immune to necrotic and poison. Condition
it's psychic.
is exhaustion, frightened, paralyzed, poisoned.
Frightened, paralyzed, poisoned. No, it's grappled.
Okay.
It needs to make an int save, please. Two int saves, rather.
2 int saves.
We've reached the finicky part of D&D.
At least got your
The summons.
proficiency in saving throws. It's got that.
So it does have a plus 6.
Mm-hmm. So it's only a plus 3 on it.
Yeah, but I say it's not very bright.
Still, though, that's a plus 3.
Plus 3 on an undead is not too terrible.
17.
So the first one succeeds. So as it latches out, it succeeds on the stunned effect.
Okay. And again.
Ooh.
Hey, look at that. So it succeeds on both stun effects.
Smart undead.
Which, yeah, no, that's fitting. And now we're at Glack.
Okay, so I'm going to do that flip when you're just laying on your back, you spring your legs up and you just
yeah.
up again.
I should be
Yep.
able to do that.
And it's almost preternatural as well. It's like the rest of you and the Mind Flayers are watching 3 or 4 Glacks do this. It's like he himself is like everywhere and nowhere. It's that blur effect from when you move too fast in video games. Glack, you just sort of look at the back of your hand and then flick your hand over, and it's pretty gnarly.
Can I quickly say something to Glack?
It's go, yeah. RP to your heart's content, please do.
Move away from them when you're done, please.
Schrodinger's kobold.
I'm saying from on my back. Ow.
I mean, I'm literally in the corner, but okay. So, first
Yeah,
one
but
was
you're a
26.
monk. You can.
Monks can run up walls
Oh,
and cross ceilings.
So-
Well, 26 hits the nearest one to you. Is that the one that is less damage or the one that's 40
It's gonna
to
be
hit?
I might
so
not
in front of
even.
me.
Both of them on the one to the south.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the crit, absolutely. You can like how do you? Yeah, you destroy that thing. The 14 brought it down to 8 health. So you
Beat it
destroy it.
apart.
What do you do? Do you just crush its skull? Do you what was it?
For the marinate
Fist-
that.
fist
Cut off
through
the
it.
tentacles.
With the first slice, I take off the tentacles in front of it, and the second slice, right down the middle. So it's kind of like a presentational of some sushi.
You bisect
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, this thing you present.
calamaried it.
So you present on the blade of the sword to its ally above it, sashimi of its mate. And
Would
you
you
hear
care
inside
for
your
some more,
head,
sir?
Sushi.
I
It
would-
actually
I
makes
would not.
sense a little bit that Glack's like a sushi chef.
And then I'm gonna wail on that guy. For...
2 punches. Go for it.
Yep.
And your astral arms are out, so you get the bonus couple of d8s, I believe.
Yeah.
29's gonna hit.
29 hits and 36 hits, and
That
for the
definitely
second,
hits.
with an extra 3 damage on the
40,
end.
43 points from being punched twice in the face. Let's let that sink in, people at home. 43 points of damage from being punched in the face a couple times.
Then I'm gonna run
Uh-huh.
up the wall and just.
Can it attack of opportunity you? I think it's gonna try.
Depends on how
It
far
might-
up he runs. I guess.
It might regret it, but it's gonna.
It can jump.
Actually, you know what? No, because you move out of its reach, it's not going to tentacle attack you. It's going to cast Dominate Monster. So make a Wisdom saving throw. 'cause
I
it
want
targets
that
only
one.
you.
He's going.
Yeah.
Counter
Yeah.
Oh, this might be a roll off though.
Okay. Yeah, you'll need to. What level are you casting it at?
So I'm just casting it at base 3rd.
Perfect. You need to make an intelligence check then, please.
Yep.
Because these things don't have counterspell, they can't counter you. Or these base grunts don't have it.
That is.
A 23, so you watch as this thing's psionics sort of links, and it Doctor Strange's and sort of brims out a bit of purplish crackling energy towards your head. Before it can even reach you, it just sort of fizzles out and it looks around at Pizzazz. And Pizzazz, and Glack and Dion, you hear in your head, not Lanmore anymore, I'm afraid, you all hear, "You think you can win this fight? You will not leave this place alive. We fight for greater goals than simply survival."
I forgive you for burning my nick in
Indistinguishable.
pizzazz.
That's Glack's turn. Something happens. Leon, could you roll me an intelligence check, please?
Okay. I've lost my character sheet.
That'll
Should be
annoying.
under Leon the Valorous.
I think he means like
In the thing.
a window open and he doesn't open.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah, my thing crashed earlier.
Is your monitor on fire though?
No, it's not currently on fire. Don't worry.
Like,
There's
it's
still
fine.
there's still an hour and a bit of stream. Don't worry.
Yeah. Okay, intelligence. What?
Just an intelligence check for me.
Oh, that's not gonna go well.
You never know.
Yeah, apparently it did.
So, yeah, it's above a 10. A 10 was your DC. So you become vaguely aware. You find yourself in a forest full of trees battling draconic spirits, and you can hear over to one side of you just vague sounds of combat that aren't from these draconic creatures. And you begin to start to see through this is a dream. This is an illusion of some kind. And as you begin to become aware of that, you see the walls of reality begin to sort of come down around you. Now that you're paying attention to it, you would need to make another sort of check to begin to decipher and begin to sort of sort through what is going on. At this point, I'll have you roll some initiative, please. And I'll just drop you into the initiative order, please.
Okay.
You're at initiative 10.
I
As
don't have
Lanmore,
a,
it's your turn.
I don't have a thing to click, so this is gonna have to just put in. So
Oh, sorry. This is you here.
where am I?
You're right there. I tell you what, I'll move you to the map.
Thank
I'll
you.
move back.
I'm gonna burn for a
There
second.
you go.
Cheers, buddy.
Here you go, buddy boy.
Yay!
Click on that.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a 31. Oh no, it's you rolled a 19.
Oh, nat 20. I'll take it.
You did.
I've just
Look
got
at you.
very bad initiative.
I mean, I rolled in that 20 and I got a 20.
Yeah.
Uh,
I don't need to be dexterous. I'm wearing full plate.
Dion, why did you roll a initiative?
Oh, I thought we were all rolling this shit.
No,
It's
just the
Already.
person who wasn't in initiative. What did you have before? Sorry.
he was.
It was 19.
He
Yeah.
was 19 as well. Perfect. You guys, the two half orcs together. I'm going to flick you back to where you started.
Yeah.
Leon?
Yeah, it's like I couldn't see where you were highlighting because it's all in. It was in the fucking
Yeah,
wall.
I'm aware that I can see it, but you can't. And the rest of you know that the door is open, by the way. You start to hear the sounds of running water or some sort of machinery, maybe. It's like a roar beyond where you are, now that this door here is open. Since your summon's out there, you know what? I'll give it a bit of an extra thing out here. There you go. Just for your summon there. Groovy. That was initiative count 10.
No, I've got 120 feet of vision.
Oh, right. Well, you can see that there. Go on. Click it. Oh, no. Oh, roll 20. Don't be crashing on me now. Come on, man. Breathe!
Breathe, damn you!
Breathe, roll 20, breathe.
Since you've just had your turn, you know what? I will let you know what you see. So, the ceiling in that chamber, just that chamber beyond you, seems to form a slope up towards a dome sort of shape beyond the site of the summon and the two mind flayers just sort of batting it out. You see a dome sort of 20 foot higher than the floor around what you've been through sewers. You went through Buttercup's sewers. This is clearly a cistern of some kind, and the architecture is clearly Brightside Towers. You can see lining the walls of this corridor here that you're in now, more of Brightside's sort of display monitors, but they've all been sort of graffitied over or splurted upon by this sort of dark, sort of inky blackness and graffitied with stuff like Elder Control So Rise and For Extrematron, that sort of
Extremadon rules.
yeah, propaganda sort of looking stuff, you know. It's sort of Brightside's face has a devil mustache, that sort of stuff.
I'm surprised they haven't upset the demons who came across and gave them hell for graffitiing the
It's
sign.
almost like this level isn't under control of Brightside anymore. Lanwar, it's your turn.
Okay.
Oh, and also you can just make out the shadow of a door just beyond there.
Setting up, I'm going to take one of the opals from the fire opals from the crown and go, here, catch!
Fire opal. Okay.
And
Frag out!
cast fireball right in between them.
All right. They all have advantage. I'll just do this. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's the four of them. Whereabouts are you throwing it to? This is very important. I'm gonna catch the summon and the mind flayers outside.
What's this range of fireball again? The area of effect?
20?
You probably put it like here, right?
What
20 feet
point?
square.
There or here?
It's, I think,
Right in that corner, maybe.
I think, if it's in the corner, it's still gonna, it's still
Yeah,
gonna be
fireball.
out enough.
Yeah, thank you.
I'll throw it in the corner, so it's basically all the fire's just gonna spread out from that corner to engulf
Yeah.
those
Thankfully,
guys.
fireball doesn't.
That's gonna hit the 4 mind flayers. Ben, could you roll me a luck check for your summon? See if it sort of spreads and it gets sort of backdraft. The mind flayer that it's fighting is not lucky at all. We'll say it has a half cover. No, 3/4 cover. So roll a dex save and add +5 to it. And I'll do the same for these mind flayers, who all have advantage. Dex save. So that's gonna fail. That's gonna fail. That's gonna fail. And that is 100% failing. So the mind flayers all fail the fireball.
Come on, blob.
And take 29 points of damage.
Hey!
There you go. And you succeed. Well, that one's gone.
I mean, regardless, if it's half, it's still dead because they only had 4 points of HP left.
Aw.
29. That one failed, so it's down as well. Oh, that one survives. Minus 29. It's looking very bad. And that one had 24. Oh, poor baby. So now this doorway is now just crowded with Mind Flayer remnants. A lot of them are on fire.
Oh, the spirit's just gone.
Yeah, it disappears.
I might have wanted to use him again.
I think it
That's
just
fair.
the ghost. I think literally the undead. I think literally just
Yeah,
disappears
the
when it
undead
dies.
disappears.
It doesn't have a body.
I could have used the token again, though. I mean,
If you
Oh,
press
yeah, Val.
Control Z, it should come back up.
Control Z.
Oh, because you've moved.
Yeah, you
There you
keep
There you
pressing
go.
it. Keep pressing it.
Perfect. I'm learning. I'm learning. Perfect. So, yeah, now there's only one Mind Flayer that you can see, and it's still in this room. Lanwar, any bonus actions? As you find the Junkrat's little creature, little homunculus created thing, drops this worm, and it looks a horrifying sort of visage. It's almost like a lamprey, a bit like the wretched that you fought, but mutated almost. It's clearly a worm of some kind, and you sort of hold it up to like agog, and Dion, you glance around and you know what that is. That is an aberration. That is the birthing sort of cycle. The first sort of stage of becoming a Mind Flayer is getting one of these things attached to your brain. And Pizzazz, and you know what? Yeah, Pizzazz, you've actually seen these things before in greater detail. The rest of you, it takes a second to click, but Pizzazz, you recognize these things as being from the pool in Nihilur's lair. You saw an entire big pool of these things guarding his phylactery.
Yeah.
And as you look around this room, more of it starts to make sense. Nihilur might have been from this group, because a lot of this technology looks like the sort of back alley ooze matrix technology that was in Buttercup's lair that was being watched over by Nihilur, except it's been upgraded clearly by at least a few decades, almost, of technology, of intelligent creatures working on it. And it's all seeming very familiar to you, and it's all starting to slot into place what's probably has happened here.
Can I use my bonus action to scoop that thing up, and I'm going to move 15 feet?
It's just a use object. You can easily. You've got 30 feet of movement.
No, I would add 15.
You do stand up. That's perfect. Yeah. You get behind full cover from the final Mind Flayer. And Pizzazz, it's back to you. This thing's looking all by itself, and you feel your concentration break to the thing out in the hall.
Okay. So, in that case, let's... Yeah. Shall I do that?
Just aware, all last week was RP and lore drop, and this is just all combat so far.
Yeah. I think I am going to try to sapping sting him. The one in the room.
Okay, what do I need to roll?
So it is a. Well, let's just do that. So it comes up. Con save.
Con save. She has advantage on. 17's going to fail.
Yep. So, because it failed, it takes the damage and falls prone.
Cool. We'll just mark on a little brown dot there because it's hit the ground.
Okay, and I'll just double check to see what bonus actions I've got. I am going to Misty Step.
Mhm. Right behind it?
Yeah, basically right behind it.
Perfect. You land in amongst the charred, broken bodies of half a dozen mind flayers. This area counts as difficult terrain. Oh no, you're hovering slightly above them.
Yep.
Yeah. So the rest of you,
Just hovering.
yeah, the rest of you, as you're now looking in the direction of Pizzazz as he reappears behind this mind flayer, and you see he doesn't look well. He looks like he's about to die of old age. His skin is sort of beginning to turn grey. His eyes are very sunk. He looks like he's not eaten in ages. He looks like he's not slept in months. He doesn't look entirely healthy. Something which clearly the Ooze Matrix Freshness TM pods was keeping under control. Much in the same
about
way.
At that point that Pizzazz notices that he's hovering as well.
Yeah. It's a strange feeling.
Yeah.
It's like you. I tell you what, if you'd allow it, you were sort of walking up until this point.
Oh, Rhythm died.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were walking up until this point, and then as you reappear hovering slightly above the mind flare, and you find you don't need to walk on it anymore.
Yeah.
Don't need to maintain concentration on this
down and
slight
say,
hover.
Pizzazz would look down and say, that's slightly disconcerting.
That's rather new.
Yes.
Somebody's
That's a shame.
pod never got refreshed then?
Rhythm has died. That's a shame.
Yeah.
There is no
dear.
rhythm anymore.
Oh no, we've lost the rhythm. We've lost the music.
There is only Zool.
That's a different campaign.
Okay, back to Leon. Leon, the walls of this dream, you realize, are collapsing. Dun 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 dun.
Hell.
I'm going to need a wisdom saving throw, please,
Okay.
from you.
Come on, wisdom.
That's the sideboard thing.
I'm assuming this isn't magical.
It is not. It is technology based.
27.
Ooh, 27.
27. Okay, so that will be. Team. Constitution save. Perfect. So you're going to take half of this.
Ow.
Oh, it's coming back.
Rhythm was
Is it?
briefly back and then died again.
So you take half of this. Oh god, what a terrible roll.
Ow.
7 points of psychic damage. But I'll let you make another intelligence check now.
Okay.
There we go. Rhythm's back, folks. I just want you.
Ooh.
Yeah, no, but it's continuing to collapse, and you are still stuck here. You don't know what is going on. This feels like a dream. You should be waking up, but you don't know why you are not. It is as if it is dragging you down with it. That timer
Let me out.
ticks down. Yeah. Pizzazz, you feel a slight ping in the back of your mind, since you were the one who could feel it, and also you're still linked to the Scion network, or the Illithid network. You can hear a small ping coming from the north west sort of area, which Glack is easily able to convey through the earpieces as a free action. There is a door leading off to that area. Dion the Hunter, it is your turn. There is a soul mind flare.
Which I'm going to attack.
Perfect. You mark it. Your little laser sight clamping onto it. It is prone, yeah. You would have disadvantage.
I would have disadvantage.
You would have disadvantage on this because it's prone, yeah.
Ranged
Afraid so.
attacks, right?
Ranged attacks.
Alright. Yeah, I'll take the disadvantage.
Well, with like a plus 15 or something. Be rude not to.
19?
Yeah, he needs to shield.
Counter spell.
He doesn't need to shoot.
No, he does, because otherwise it would kill him. But as he reaches up to cast shield, Pizzazz, you reach out and just sort of snap your fingers, and his shield melts away, and the final arrow of his life.
That's not what happens. Pizzazz whacks him on the back of the head with his staff.
Bonk.
And it looks, and momentarily distracted, it looks round at you, and then you see fear in its otherwise unfathomable eyes as it turns back around, and you see it just sort of stiffen up slightly as an arrowhead pokes out the back of its head, and you just sort of tap it to the ground with your staff.
Yep.
And
just to make sure
Dion,
it's dead.
Yeah, Dion, you've killed this thing, and you just see Pizzazz waving at you, floating slightly above. You have movement. You still have another attack, so you could probably get to the door. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. You could get to there and fire on this final mind flare, if you wished. Perfect. So you sprint. Because as a ranger, you're unfettered by difficult terrain. There you go. This is the one time. Enjoy it, man. That's going to come into play. The one time it's going to come into play. You're unfettered by the difficult terrain caused by all the enemies you have killed.
29.
And as you fire at this thing, 13 points of damage. 29 would hit. Roll your extra D6 for your hunter's mark, please. 13.
Oh.
And another 6. Look at that, 19 points. Anything else you want to add? It looks shaky as the arrow embeds in it.
Do I have one section?
Bearing in mind who's up next. Anything, Deal?
What was the thing you had against favoured enemies?
He can, on a hit, choose to expend a spell slot to do a bit more damage. But it is a spell slot, it costs him stuff, and this is still the first room and corridor. Although, in fairness, 16 mind flares. Anything else, Dion? Or is it the mind flare's turn?
I'm gonna, if I can, Word of Radiance.
That's an action to cast, I'm afraid.
I wasn't sure, that's why I was saying if I can.
You do have a bonus action spell if you want. If you have any bonus action spells, you can cast those now if you want to, for sure. Like a lightning shot or something to prepare for the next thing that you shoot. Something like that. I don't know. You absolutely. Oh no, you moved your hunter's mark as a bonus. Never mind. That's your turn. End of your turn. It's now on to the mind flares. And he has no recourse left. He's going to, I say tactically retreat, he's just going to peg it backwards because he's got so little health. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Really?
Glack, roll me a quick perception check, please.
Run like fuck.
And he has a plus, we'll say plus 10. Quick perception check from Glack. You see him pull something. It looks like a metal slab out of a pocket, and he holds it against an area beside the door. The door, sci-fi Star Wars, slides open, and it steps through, and the door slides back closed again.
Ah, you found the blue key card.
Yeah, we're going to stay in initiative order because Leon's life is at risk here. Back to Glack.
Let me the fuck out of this tube.
The thing I saw.
What is this? Some kind of tube?
Was it very much like the thing that the mind flayer dropped over here?
Very much, in fact, yes. They all seem to have one of those. All the ones who were in the room with you originally had them.
Well, then I'm going to just
run
past
the body.
Grab the thing from the floor.
Yeah, luckily that one landed in an unoccupied space. Good thing for you.
And then with my movement, I can get all the way to there.
Alright,
Is
perfect.
that including the extra movement from your mantle?
Yeah, you do have extra movement, remember?
Yeah.
Do you want a bonus action dash using a key point?
Oh,
Step of the wind. I'm aware you spent 9 on your foresight already, but
yeah.
still.
I know. I have a few left, not that many. Yeah, go on. I will.
Perfect. So you still have however much it was in addition. So you're able. And you still understand deep speech, so you're easily able to read the inscriptions on this sort of tablet thing. I'm going to need an intelligence check. You're considered proficient because you have a Ghost in the Machine Warlock patron. So an intelligence check plus proficiency, please. See if you can open this door. Because the Junkrat skeleton key is with pizzazz at the moment. Otherwise, that would be able to do it just without it.
Pizzazz.
Throw it like
Oh.
200 feet, round 2 corners.
10 plus proficiency, 16.
16. To open this door with this pad, as you hold it up to the thing, you see a strange image appear in what would otherwise be an alien language, but you can read it as a number 2, and a number 2 appears on the sort of pad beside the door, and the door slides open. I will reveal areas. You can continue to use however much movement you have, which I think is a wee bit. However much it is.
Yep. So I'm going to.
The mind flayer who you chased is crouching inside the door, looking just terrified.
Fetal position.
Yeah, clearly
Or
preparing
as much
himself.
as it can.
Actually, he would have gone this way. Hold on. Yeah, he would have gone this way. So as you sort of, how much movement do you have left? 5, 10, 15? Do you have 15? Okay,
About
yeah.
40
So
left.
you're able to, with your 15, get behind him there if you wanted, and you just hear him in deep speech sort of say, "Master, chief scientist, the prisoners, they've escaped. They've slaughtered. There's the scientists, the security personnel.
They're revolting.
Fine,
know
there's
they're
something we
revolting.
can
We're
agree
not
on.
that bad.
What? Tell me something I don't. Yes, sir. They're coming. Oh, gods. Oh, elders, I would rather.
There's one behind.
As it hears you behind, and that one there will see you, and you can quite clearly see all the pods in this room, Glack, are still on, but there is quite obviously bedecked, clearly a chief scientist, aside from the name beneath his token there,
He has it
because he
stapled.
has a. Yeah, he is carrying a staff and looks to be much more sort of medically. Who's doing that?
Not me.
Thanks. He's standing over Leon's. You can quite clearly see Leon upright in his own pod. The rest of them are sort of either empty or look to have subjects in them that have been destroyed, their heads split open. A couple of them have half-formed creatures, gnomes, humans, halflings, half-orcs, that are all midway through the Ceramorphosis phase. You reckon that might be what will happen to people who are implanted with the earworms for too long. They will become like these things. Yeah, they've got half of the features of a mind flayer and half of a gnome. You see half-orc tusks sticking out from beneath elithid long tentacles. It's a pretty gruesome sight, to be honest. There's a door at the far end of this room as well. It's much like the previous room you were in.
Okay.
That is your turn, I believe.
Yep, unfortunately so.
Lanwar, it is your turn. All the Elithids in this room are dead, and Glack has you've seen him sprint off past Dion.
Okay. I'm gonna use my movement to put myself sort of in the bit where there isn't a lot of them in the way, and try to see down out the door as far as I can see. How far would I be able to see down this corridor?
Which corridor?
Out here. Out this way, because
Oh,
I want to use my hidden path to go
from
as far as
standing
I
there?
Yeah.
Roll a. Actually, I'm just going back. You can see down to there.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you can't see around corners.
I will use hidden path to bump me up to there.
Perfect.
That was my movement and my bonus action.
Yep. Across the way, you can see a door. You can just make out Glack inside it as the doors begin to sort of sci-fi close.
I'm go. How far would I get? How far is 30 from where I am? Just going to use action to move another 30, considering I
Get to
can't.
there.
Alright, just go to that 30 forward then.
That's deep.
Yeah, the blue area is all what looks to be a river or a cistern or an underground stream of some kind.
Would the little thing be coming?
Underground. It's not underground, rather.
Indoor.
Just a stream of some kind.
Indoor.
Little pack thing come with me. I'm guessing.
Yeah, no, of course. Yeah, it's with you.
Yeah.
It's flapping up behind you. Much as it used to do for Junkrat.
You probably recognise it similar to the Arcane River in Tink and everyone's factory.
Mm-hmm. And in fact, this one is not of blue Arcanite. Roll me a quick Arcana check, and you are not an artificer, an alchemist. You can have advantage on this.
Arcana
So your turn's not just running. Zaz, you're up next.
Mm-hmm.
Advantage Arcana.
Not bad.
Okay, not bad at all. So as you look down into this, you've been in Tink's factory maybe once or twice, and they have a river of blue Arcanite. This is not a river of blue Arcanite. This is shimmering, almost like Quicksilver or Fool's Arcanite. This is silver Arcanite, and it all appears to be draining away from some sort of source. But more than that, inside you can see fragments, slivers of what look to be black and copper. Just shards of crystal in this silver river.
So it's a bit like the fake Arcanite spiders that inhabit the forest, the Willowwood.
A little bit, but as you look down and gaze into the depths of this sort of river, it is quite clearly not Fool's Arcanite. This is a river of silvery Arcanite fluid, clearly heated up to such proportions that it was able to melt the crystal itself. This is incredibly hot.
Yeah.
And you find yourself just beginning to perspire slightly as you sprint through this room trying to get to Glack before the door closes behind him, and he's trapped in there with, well, you don't know what. But Pizzazz, it's your turn.
The temptation to just grab a vial out of it is like...
Molten
Hey
silver,
man,
dude.
what you do on your next turn is up to you, but Pizzazz, it's your turn, man.
Right, so I got that lingering ping.
Yes.
Would I be able to do an Arcana check to see roughly whereabouts it was from me?
Knowing what you're about to do, I will say it will be an intelligence. No, this has to be a wisdom check. Just a flat wisdom check, I'm afraid. Yeah. Because intelligence is book smarts. And, yeah. Wisdom, 50 feet, maybe? 100 feet northwest? North by northwest?
That way.
You guess it. I'm sure it'll be fine. If you
Okay.
end up inside a crystal wall or something.
Fair enough. In that case,
What exactly inside Leon's?
Pizzazz is going to focus on the memory of Leon in the tube.
Aha.
And...
I will allow you to roll an intelligence check then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Boom.
not able to pinpoint exactly, but you remember. You floated down the corridor, round the corners. Following that, you know he's within 500 feet.
Yep.
And I will let you get within about 22, below 25, 5, 10, 15. We'll say you get 15 feet away from Leon's ping, if you like. I will let you place on the map within like 3 squares away from it.
Where am I?
So either there, or up there.
Yep. So Pizzazz will essentially appear here.
Yeah, the chief scientist immediately looks around at you.
Pizzazz will
Subject
look at-
2.
Pizzazz will look at him and goes, "Sup, fucker."
Subject 2. We meet again.
Oh, he knows you.
We meet again for the first time.
Ah, you do not remember. That is good. I will make you remember the pain all over again.
He's really
Yeah.
bad at brewing coffee.
Doubt that. I don't think I can do any other bonus actions. No, that's me.
Cool. Turn back to Leon. And Leon, as the world is getting very close around you now, and you feel voices creeping in from the edge of your vision, creeping in from the edge of the world that is just leaving you, and you can see elements of yourself. The very fibers and threads at the edge of your being are beginning to fray. I need another wisdom saving throw, please.
Okay. Let me the fuck out of this tube. 26.
Ooh.
26. But you manage to keep control of your form and almost rage. If barbarians, if
I'm a
paladins
half-orc.
could rage,
I'm a
yeah,
half-orc.
yeah. Well, you feel that sort of rage. You know where you are, and it enrages you. I will. You are able to make an intelligence check with advantage this time.
Yay! Advantage, intelligence. Get me the fuck out of this tube! God damn it!
Oh man,
My
that's
saves-
not great.
My saves are good, my checks are crap.
Do you have any sort of do you have any sort of inspiration that you could use there?
No, I don't.
That's it's entirely fine. As the world collapses, it is now you alone in a black void, and reaching out into this void that you are in, surrounded by these draconic spirits and the world that has collapsed into darkness and green numbers, you just hear a voice go, "Come with me. I can get you out. You'll be fine. You will serve a higher purpose. Believe in me. Paladin, come with me." And you feel yourself being drawn, almost like a locate object spell. You feel like a tug. Do you follow that tug?
Considering that I'm fairly sure I'm gonna die if I don't. And
Well,
there
no,
is-
it's not a death thing. You just feel alone. It is just you and your thoughts and nothing else in just this dark space.
Yeah, I'm fairly sure that something bad is gonna happen if I don't. Something bad's probably gonna happen if I do, but it'll be worse if I don't. So I'll at least follow it, but cautious following. With
You cautious follow.
With suspicion.
As you take the first step, your mind begins to unfog, and you can see beyond you, and you glance behind you, there is only darkness. Ahead of you is a verdant field. Everyone is happy and at peace and working together for the benefit of all races in Alterra. every single creature, every single animal and plant are all... none of them feel anxious, none of them feel depressed. All of them work together under the same banner. The world is united. And as you take another step forward, you can see this shining, glimmering future for the world that you know and love. And you begin to take further steps forward, and the world becomes more and more real as you take yet another step forward. And you just feel this warm embrace. And it is good. And you feel that voice in the back of your mind of the force that you now know to be the one true... that's the wrong word. The creator is the wrong word. The being that you now trust to lead you forward.
Guardian?
Yes, guardian of this world. The thing that you know will bring peace and prosperity to all creatures. You believe in it. And Pizzazz, you just see a half-orc gauntleted fist punch through the top of Leon's Scion ooze matrix pod, and the chief scientist whips between you and between Leon, Leon, your eyes open now and they crackle with a fierce fury. What? No, why is this happening on my shift? I was 2 days from retirement.
Make that 30 seconds.
Shit. Dion the Hunter, it is your turn. You're much too out of range to really do anything. But you could dash on this turn if you want, and just sort of let your Hunter's Mark is sort of free floating now. You can easily move it on to something when you see something. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 30 to get to there. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. 60. If you dash, you can get to there. Yes?
Yeah.
Perfect. That's your turn. It is the Mind Flayers. So this Mind Flayer here turns to Glack, turns back to Pizzazz, and then to Dion. Don't just stand there, you fool! Attack the mage! And he's going to attack the mage. Pizzazz, he is going to begin to cast a spell. You see a shimmering of purple energy around his eyes, a bit like Psyduck when it gets ready to use Psybeam.
How far are you from me, by the way?
I'm...
Oh god,
You're
no!
15 feet.
Oh, he's out of range.
Oh, thank god.
But you know what he's not out of range of? I've got Mage Slayer, so he started to cast a spell. I can hit him with an attack.
Oh, that's a gift from Junkrat, so he doesn't know you have it. So roll your attack roll. Oh my god. Oh god, if you hit.
Whack.
Give me a second.
Oh man. He's so low on health as well. I was hoping to stop.
Yes!
Alright, okay. As Pizzazz, you glance around, you can begin to feel the Dominate Monster spell take effect.
Pizzazz,
then
Pizzazz hasn't broken eye contact with the chief yet.
Oh, okay. Well, then you feel something begin to creep up behind you. But Glack, you see this occur. And how do you just utterly destroy this creature that has 5 hit points left?
The way I envisioned it, when Pizzazz bamfed in, he saw Glack behind the flyer, and then turned towards the chief scientist.
Yeah, because you knew what was going to happen. Of course.
Just like from the lower spine up through the top of the head.
Yeah.
It's the sword pushed up. Don't and wait, it's rude.
Yeah, the thing collapses forward and just sort of shudders for a second, and then as the magical energy ricochets off the walls, the slit up the back that you've just created, the skin goes limp, and just the entire skeleton just leaps up about 2 foot and then back down. It's fucking gruesome, to say the least. And then you hear in your ear, fatality.
I do a pose. Yeah.
But it's the chief scientist's turn now. And, you know what? He's cast that already. Yeah, no, he's going to cast that. So you watch Pizzazz and, to an extent, Glack around the corner of your eye. You see him begin to trace symbols, Doctor Strange-like, through the air, and you can see Pizzazz that he is beginning to create a little clock face in midair as well. A spell you quite recognize.
Yeah, I'm gonna try counterspell that.
He is going to attempt to counterspell. He doesn't know what level you're casting it at. He's going to just cast it at, we'll say, 5th level. What level are you casting yours at?
To be honest, I'm actually out of 4s. So I would have cast it at 5th as well.
So he manages to counter your counter, I'm afraid. Leon, do you have anything that, like a Mage Slayer thing, that could stop this guy?
Not that I know. Give me a minute. I can't remember what most of my abilities are, so give me a second just to check.
That's alright. Failing that, the time stop is going to go off then. 1d4 plus 1. It's ironic we're going to start and end the session with a time stop.
Time stop.
Oh, and he has 5 full turns to do things. Oh, yes, please. Yeah, so we'll cast that. That just lasts.
No point measuring, Neil. You wouldn't get through the door now anyway.
Yeah, I was just seeing
We
where I
can't-
could get to.
That's
You
concentration.
wouldn't get through
Yeah.
the door because we don't have a key card.
I don't think any of those spells are reactions, unfortunately, so no.
Okay. So to the rest of you, time is a non-entity. It just happens. As immediately you see each and every one of these pods opens, and you see inside these bastardized, half Ceramorph, half Mind Flayer, half humanoid creatures begin to awaken from their slumber. Pizzazz, you glance around and you see a shimmering force field around. It's supposed to be invisible, but you know, I'm letting you. It's a wall of force between you, around you, and the chief scientist, blocking everyone else out. And on his final turn, yeah, he's going to do that. Has advantage, and he's got a +7. An 18 to hit you.
That's my AC, so shield.
No, this would be as it hits you, so it's still time
Yeah,
stopped.
that would hit then.
Perfect. So it's going to plus. So it's not much. It's 2d10 plus 4. Still 19 points of grapple damage, psychic damage rather.
Grapple damage.
And you are grappled. Please make me an intelligence saving throw, DC 20. So you shouldn't really be feeling this.
I wish you were within range. I'm sorry.
As do I.
Is this a spell or a magical effect?
It is
If it-
psionics.
if
It is a
it's-
stun. It's the tentacle stun.
It's
So it is a magical effect.
It's a natural ability they have.
It's a natural ability, a bit like yeah. So it's just a regular
Okay.
DC 20.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, if you were 5 feet closer, you'd have passed. Ah.
You're also stunned, and you hear inside your mind, "Your brain will be the feast to end all feasts."
Yeah, beat.
As you see just this thing begin to grapple around your face. That is his turn, though. Glack, you have possibly 6 seconds to save Pizzazz from being eaten.
Have his brain eaten.
Okay. So
There's a mind flare in front of you, and there are creatures waking up from inside these pods. They will be active within That's another 4 rounds.
A while.
Oh no, they should have been active. So we did that on this first round. So 1, 2, 3. So they'll be active next round actually, because that's a point.
They
The
were.
time stopped.
They weren't in the time stop though.
It's true.
Yeah.
So 4 rounds time. 4 rounds time. Yeah.
Okay, so I'd like to use my free object interaction to press the button to open the door again.
Yes, of course. Yeah. So Dion and
We'll be
Lanmore,
back
you
in a
see
minute.
sliding open ahead of you is the door into the next room, and you can vaguely hear the sounds of creatures moving around, waking up, machinery whirring, clacking, and the occasional scream, shatter of glass, that sort of thing. Dion, you can also hear the sounds of like telepathic yum yum yum, here comes dinner, etc., etc. You know. Perfect. That's your object.
And then I'm going to say, Junkrat, get me there. And I'm going to cast Misty Step.
And you're suddenly wreathed in this techno sort of zeros and ones with a little bit of dragon fire and in a puff of brimstone. You reappear again in a circle of zeros and ones, and you hear inside your mind a little sort of finger snap looking thing, and you arrive right behind the chief scientist, Leon, directly behind you, waking up clearly.
Oh, that's a good word. A slash and a slash.
35 and a 36. Yeah, those are both gonna hit. He's not Is he actually, did I cast that one? Oh! Yeah. Oh, Wall of Force. Hold on.
Because Misty Step means you can see it, and it's not... It's an invisible barrier, is it not? So I can see through it.
Nothing can physically pass through it. It's immune to all damage, can't be dispelled. Concentrate. So he is concentrating. So you reappear inside, like pretty much directly on top of him. It's kind of squished in here because he was making it as small as he could to just keep Pizzazz and himself in there. I'll allow it, but no one else pretty much can get in at this point. He automatically succeeds on the con saves made to succeed on those because the damage isn't high enough, but he does take the damage, 33 points. And he glances around. I'll deal with you later.
And you know what? I'm going to stick one of them a stunning strike just to see if it will work, using up some of my remaining key points. So it's
This
just
is
one
not
stunning strike.
This is not a spell, so he does not get advantage. However, he does roll a natural 20.
God damn it.
My mentor endows me with all sorts of trinkets and treats. You cannot stun me, mortal Noid.
Yeah, but I bet I can kill you.
You can try. I mean, please don't, but you can try.
Your wish is my command.
Shit.
Bonus? Oh no, you bonus action.
actually-
Yeah,
Step.
bonus to Misty Step.
Lanwar, it's your turn.
Oh, I've just realised something actually. One moment. I need to message something.
Lanwar?
Can I quickly use the headset? Where are you? Tell me where.
Go through the open sliding door.
Yeah, it's beginning to slide shut. You've got 6 seconds.
Okay. Wait, is that an action or a bonus action to use this?
What is it you're doing?
I was want to use the Cape of the Montebank to.
It's an action to Dimension Door, Cape of the Montebank.
Alright. Screw it. I'm gonna do what I was planning originally. Oh, screw it. I'm gonna use one of my charges on my tattoo. So suddenly I become ghostly, and I'm just gonna walk through the walls. And basically action to dash to go through this. Wait, how far am I?
I was gonna say, why didn't you just grab Dion on Dimension Door?
This will be more fun.
Oh, thanks.
I'm gonna walk straight action and walk through his thing because I'm spectral right now.
Are you ethereal?
Yeah.
It extends into the ethereal plane.
Does it?
The wall of force. Yep. The wall extends into the ethereal plane, blocking ethereal travel through the wall. I'm afraid. That's written in the spell description. Wall of force.
Is it ethereal plane?
But sorry, you're able to get into the room though.
Yeah, I can walk through the walls because I'm using my ghost.
20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45.
And I'm using an action to dash forward.
Yeah. So as you dash forward, you just collide with this wall and just fall backwards almost in between these two tubes, and you can see either side of you. Let me just roll for it actually. Luckily for you, you don't seem to recognize either of the two people in these pods, but one of them definitely looks like draconic in origin, and one of them looks more like just a regular ass human. Both part way through mind flare-esqueness. But yeah, you've collided with the wall, I'm afraid.
Oh, wait. No, I'd just be just the other side because it's difficult terrain that I'd be moving through the wall, so...
It's fine. I'm going to allow it. We're towards the end, and we're sort of half fudging things. Pizzazz, what is chief in your mind in these your final moments before your brain is devoured? What does the mind flare, the chief scientist, sense is foremost in your mind? What delicious memories? Fear, pain, anger, joy? What bubbles to the surface in this final second?
Tink.
Oh.
No.
Love?
Yeah.
Just her face, or?
Regret that he hasn't seen her for like 100 years. Wanting to know how she's doing.
A strange expression on the Mind Flayer's near unfathomable face, and you only see it because you're right up in his grill.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like not quite confusion, not quite questioning, but it's like if someone could raise an eyebrow and chuckle at someone else's ignorance. It's like that. But also, you hear inside your head, this is a new... I've not tasted this feeling before. You are still grappled.
Do I not get to make another check?
You're stunned until the grapple ends, technically.
Mm-hmm.
Leon, it is your turn.
Okay.
We'll say it's like you've busted out of the thing at this point, and you're sat up and you're looking across at this happening. Pizzazz just stunned in the Mind Flayer's grip, about to be devoured, and you've seen this kind of thing before.
Okay,
You know what's coming.
I'm basically going to rush out and just grab the Mind Flayer and try to just throw it away from him.
Can you get through a wall of force?
Actually not sure. Give me a second. Can you Misty Step through a wall of force?
You can.
I'm gonna Misty Step through
It's
it.
getting very crowded. So the only option is to land pretty much on top of the thing.
I'll do that. I'm a
Perfect.
big guy. Bam!
Do you want to
Yeah,
directly land on the Mind Flayer and Pizzazz, or
Think
like
of the size
dexterously
of
avoid?
Pizzazz.
Leon's like just smash his way out of a tank. I don't think he's thinking hard enough, so he's just gonna land directly on top deadpan
I
on
love
the
it.
mind flare.
Bull in a china shop. You know what? I'm going to just roll something here. Yeah, he maintains his grip. And he glances round. You are all going to die here. All of you traitors. All of you. We brought you to this place. Fed you. You worked for us.
Not anymore. I hold out the thing in my hand, going, not anymore in the spectral form. Holding up the dead thing.
Yeah, a terrible screech echoes in all of your heads except for Latmore's. Leon, you still have an action.
Yeah, that's the. Leon's going to try grabbing the mind flare and just wrenching it off him, essentially.
Okay, yeah, I'll let you make your first attack as a grapple check.
That is athletics, right?
It is athletics.
Yes.
Roll high enough, and he might not be able to succeed.
Not the strongest ever. 26.
26, though.
I see.
I'm used to Nord, okay?
Well, I'm going to roll for it anyway. You know what? I will roll for it anyway. Just to see how badly he does. Because I'm nothing if not good with rolling. No. So, you grab hold of this mind flare and begin wrenching Pizzazz away from his maw. What are you doing? Put me down. So you've got a grip of both of them.
You said put him down, right? Okay.
Yes.
I'm gonna smash his head into the floor.
Roll your attack.
Spin
me a yarn. Would you be proficient with improvised mind flares?
I imagine that Leon's done this kind of thing before.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, roll. You're proficient with mind flares, I'll say, because you're a paladin of what you are.
Yeah. I'll basically
Devotion thing.
I'll basically roll it as the athletics again because I don't have mind flare as a weapon, unfortunately.
That's mind flare as a weapon. Roll another athletics, and we'll do a bit of damage.
You're channeling your inner Grognard.
23.
23 does hit. He can't shield against his own face.
And because
Shockingly.
it's technically a weapon, it automatically smites.
That's true. It's an improvised weapon. Okay. Yeah, woo.
I'm not going to do the spell slot smite, I'm just going to be my passive one of paladin of above certain level. Which I believe is just a 1d8, but it's still something. Improved divine smite. Yes, d8. It's 1d8 plus... How do you do unarmed? If it counts for that for damage?
It's a d4 plus your strength.
1d4 plus... and plus the other thing. So it's plus 8? 9.
Still 11 points of damage, but more importantly, the grapple against Pizzazz is broken. Pizzazz, you blink blearily, and you swear you can see like an almost thought bubble above your head of Tink just sort of begin to retract into your head, and the mind flare looks heartily annoyed at this. Heartily annoyed. Leon, that's your turn. Dion. Leon and Dion fucking the same.
Yeah! Was not intentional in any way.
Dion, it's your turn.
Yeah, so is this door closed, yeah?
It's closing at the end of this round at initiative count 1.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go into the room.
Yeah, huh? Move your guy. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You can get to there.
And I can't have line of sight on the Mind Flayer, can I?
Afraid not. You'll have to dash. You could dash as your action, and then bonus just shift your hunter's mark so you're ready for next turn.
Yeah.
Perfect. So you can just 5, 10, you can get back to there and have a clear view of them. However, perhaps more pressingly, the ooze matrices are all coming alight, and as you glance around, you do see more of them are coming alive, we'll say. It is the Mind Flayers now. Those things are going to act on initiative 10. So it's just the Chief Scientist now. And Pizzazz is still right there, but oh, fuck's sake. Leon. Yeah, he's gonna cast that, I think. So I need everyone who is inside the everyone who is inside the wall of force, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Everyone gets a +4. Is this a magical effect?
It is a magical effect.
I have advantage. Only a 17.
Oh,
So that's
18 plus
16.
4, so 22.
17 fails. Glack plus
22 if
22.
Leon's plus 4.
The Archmage. Or
Yeah,
rather,
and I'll take 27.
Yeah.
27. Oh yeah, of course.
That might do it.
So only, ironically, Leon fails.
You're all inspired by me, I'm not inspired by myself.
You're used to
At that
yourself.
level. And he has extra things. So everyone who failed, which is just Leon, takes 46 points of force damage.
Ow.
Everyone else takes half, 23 points of force.
Wait a minute.
As you just feel the earth around you crumple, like the Witch King of Angmar's skeleton, helmet, rather, after he was stabbed in the face. Gravity just inverts on a central point. As the Mind Flayer raises a fist, you all feel gravity center towards his fist as he just punches it against the ground. And he's not happy with any of you.
I'm going to deflect that force energy.
Of course you do.
Yeah, very much like the Yoda taking the lightning from the Emperor. Just like pull it in and just crush it in the hand. I'm sorry,
Awesome.
wasn't that supposed to hurt now?
I mean, kind of. Black, it's
Oh,
your
bad.
turn.
Bad luck, buddy. You're trapped in here with us now.
I mean, what a difference 12 seconds makes.
Or you. Puja.
Can't even fucking shield those. 20 and 17 damage. Yep, 37 damage. He's looking bloodied.
Puja.
He's only a wizard. Another 29.
And another 2 on top as well.
So
For
the
31.
14 doesn't take him down. The final punch. How do you want to do this?
Just
Oh, you know, like in the chat from the start, the old nut punch.
Yeah!
make it non-lethal. Make it non-lethal.
Well, it's a nut punch. Like, you feel it in the morning when he wakes up. Like,
I'd
non-lethal
say
nut punch.
I don't know. I think a nut punch is kind of lethal.
Depends on how hard you punch, but 15 points of nut punch damage I think counts as lethal.
Well, that's true. And of course, with that final punch, the wall of force does drop. So Lanwar, you're leaning against the wall of force, and suddenly it does drop. And actually, as he collapses, all of these creatures that are in the pods. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Leon's not in his anymore, so there are 7. All of them suddenly let out an ear-splitting scream Everyone in the room, as the door sort of closes on initiative count 10, everyone in the room needs to make me a wisdom saving throw, please. And
I'm
there's 7 of them.
assuming this one isn't magical.
This, it's psionic, which is a kind of magic,
I'll let you
think.
figure if it is or not, essentially, for this one.
God,
If
I
it's
don't know,
anything
man.
like-
How big's
If
your
anything
aura?
like the abilities that he's done before you, they were just natural abilities.
It's not his ability, it's the room itself.
So
It's a telepathic link. You know what? It's a telepathic link, which is telepathy is magic, so yeah, it's magical.
Cool.
So I'll say advantage, yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone within
20.
10
feet.
10-foot radius, so Landmore, Pizzazz, and Glack all gain a +4 to this. So 24, 20 makes it, a 24 makes it, a 23 makes it, Dion, I'm so sorry, at 9, 10 doesn't make it, and Landmore, that's going to make it as well. So Dion, you're going to take 52 points of psychic damage, and everyone else takes 26. And suddenly, head explodes. Head explodes. Head explodes. Head explodes. Head explodes. And head explodes. All of these creatures, suddenly their heads explode, and those of you who are around this sort of area, you're showered with viscera as the chief scientist collapses to the ground unconscious with no balls. Dion, how are you looking? Are you still up, by the way?
I'm still up.
Okay,
Give
yeah,
me better.
you're knocked to one side. You're just you're shaken by this whole event. As you look around the room, as you stand over the chief scientist's body, you look around the room. These creatures, whatever they were, now gone, now destroyed. No chance of bringing them back. You're reunited with your fallen party member.
Oh my god, Leon. Leon, quickly, check your pockets. It's very important. Check your pockets. Do you have the gold you owe me?
I have a javelin.
Yeah, I want gold.
I don't have any gold.
Yeah, I get it next time.
And that's what we'll finish up for today.
Yay!
Having dispatched the chief scientist who pretty much enslaved you all.
Yay.
With the door beyond that way, and there was a double door back there. But essentially having taken out the entire scientific wing of this mind flayer base, and with questions to be asked for Leon, questions possibly to be asked for the chief scientist if you bring him back, and for exploration to be done. That is where we're going to pick up next time. Apologies, it was a very combat oriented thing. But there we go. That's the way the dice roll sometimes. It was very roleplay and lore dump last week. It's very combat heavy this week. Big thanks to our guest, Wolfie Bain. Wolfie, do you want to plug your show?
Hi, yeah, I'm Fenris Wolfie Bain on Twitch. Thank you guys again for inviting me. I've actually got a D&D show tomorrow, actually, as well.
Yeah, play D&D too much now.
Yeah, apparently I've got 3 sessions this week.
Are we invited, Wolfie?
Yeah, I've got 4 games
It's
a week.
Tomorrow's a session.
Damn.
Tomorrow's a session 0, so only one person's invited. So yeah, I'll be doing that tomorrow, and then I'll be playing Neo on Thursday. So it's gonna be
Nice.
cool. Yeah, I stream-
Amazing.
Yeah.
And what times are those at?
6 p.m. It's still BST. So BST currently pretty much every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and at some
that's-
point on Saturdays, but not yet.
Yeah. And that's like midday or 1 p.m. across for our American audience. Check out also our sister show. It's on Fridays, same time slot, same channel, 6 p.m. till 9 p.m. Chris McKenzie DMs that one, and these guys are all in it. I'm guesting in it, although not this week because of family stuff. If you missed it last week, everything is up on the YouTube channel or on Dragon Bob FF7, our Twitch channel at the moment, until we can get our proper Alterra one set up.
Yeah, that one isn't on my
And-
stream. That one isn't on my
Yeah.
channel.
And these guys are probably about to run or perhaps die to a demonoid Balor creature. Who knows?
I just kicked in the window of a car and about to drive away. So
Yeah, but that's another high level.
Friends.
Yeah, that's another high level campaign. It's Killscore Mercenaries, Fridays at around about 6 till around about 9, give or take a few.
6 to
9-ish. And we'll be back next Tuesday with Junkrat's Long Kong Part 3 with our special guest Wolfie. You'll be there, right?
Yep, I'm planning on being there. I've scheduled it in.
Spectacular. And until next week, be awesome to one another. And above all else, remember to hydrate. Let your head explode in this heat.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, and good night, everyone. Good night.
See you guys.
Right.
Bye.
Bye.
Nut punch.
And before I sign off of my own stream, I feel it's important to say I ended on 69 health.
Nice.
See you around, guys. Have a fantastic evening. Tune in tomorrow for Jay's session 0 of his character Smith. So, see ya. See ya.